There we go.
Hey! Welcome, very patient travelers. If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your perennial millennial DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition system and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based on the rock album Razia's Shadow by Forgive Durden. We have a brief introduction to the setting that you can read at your leisure, and I hope you will, so you can be as immersed in the world as our players are. Also, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you can also leave a little comment below answering the following question. What is your favorite time of day? Think about it for a second, then leave a comment below. Without further ado, please enjoy this session of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. Let's recap. Session 30. Holy cannoli. Festival season. The novices were set to task in the days leading up to the Harvest Lamps Festival. Ste'yn responded to her duties and learned that the security in Grati-Minot was more stringent than it appeared. But there was some tension between the Guardian residents and the civilian residents. Beau was meant to join Ste'yn, but he had other plans for his time. He tricked the rude artifratter, Inger Locke, into helping him create a pair of glasses of intellect, more suited to his style than the original item. Snow got along well enough with his job of helping set up various elements of the entertainment for the festival, but he was mostly invested in mingling with the people in the Wild Pike. He learned some basic skill on the harp from Vav and got a little story about her past in performance. Unfortunately, he promptly forgot a large part of it, to which he blamed Jeremy's medallion in his pocket. Viola assisted with decoration by day and met with Storkum the Avenger during a few freer afternoons, so she could finally begin training with him. She also took some time to meet the regulars at the Wild Pike, as well as the women in her bunk, and she continued to hear rumors about the Viver spreading around. At last, the eve of the Harvest Lamps Festival arrived. The day began with a quick but important conversation between Beau and Ste'yn. He was concerned about how he might behave with so many people in the city, and only she knew why. She agreed to keep an eye on him for any signs of danger that he might unintentionally pose. The novices enjoyed some early festivities before the opening ceremonies began. The procession for Kalain Slyweaver's funeral. It was led by Goliaths of her clan and the 3 captains of the guardianship, and it ended with a towering bonfire enveloping her stone urn. But it also gave the novices the opportunity to intercept Captain Elikin Asalin, with whom they also wanted a word. The conversation was short and tense, with Urgmal at their side, a high-ranking Goliath in the Slyweaver clan. When the captains returned to the city with their guest, the novices were left to their own devices to ring in the Harvest Lamps Festival. So...
Can I ask a point of clarification that I thought of before this?
Totally!
Okay, you mentioned that there was parties tonight, but you also mentioned that the pole activity was early in the morning. So does that mean if we party, we will not have a full rest and we will have exhaustion going into the next day?
I think that would absolutely be a fair assessment to come to.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't refill my water. So sad.
Looks like we have a choice to make.
Yes, this will be a week of choices to make because it's a big city with lots going on, but you are not, as far as I know, chronomancy wizards. So you will have to be only moving through time at a pace of 1 second per second. And
Didn't you know that I took 20 levels of Chronergy Wizard when you weren't looking?
Oh, I thought you added those 20 levels of just pure more cleric and perception. My bad.
No, controlling time is better than perception, because why not just see where things go and then see what I missed?
There's probably a really good lesson in there, actually. Just see where things go.
Somebody made popcorn in my house and it smells delicious. Sorry.
That actually sounds really appropriate for a festival. And now there's popcorn for sale, guys.
Ooh.
Right?
Isn't that what the bonfire was for?
Yeah, it's for popping a whole bunch of popcorn.
Imagine.
I mean, I am now.
I mean, it's not like there was a fresh body burning on there. She was turned to stone.
There was an urn.
Yeah, it was. You don't even know what's in the urn. It could just be something symbolic. Maybe it was a just.
Maybe you could grind up stone.
Hear me out. Hear me out. In the urn, as is traditional to the Slyweaver clan, they take the harvest. In this case, it would be the grains, the kernels from the corn that is native to their lands, into the pot, into the pyre, set it alight. And you just hear little bits of popping from within the flames. And the sudden smell
about a new
of
worst
something
nightmare.
Yeah, that's my fear in the fear room.
Soylent Green is people! I mean, you could turn that into an event if you'd like. Happy Harvest Lamps, everybody. So, it is the first evening of the Harvest Lamps Festival. You guys are still outside of the city walls, where you're not too far out, but you are outside the city limits, where more festivities are going on. The merriment is is on high. People are all over. They're beginning to dance and play music. They're playing games. There are definitely drinks being passed about. And this is not just novices or guardian residents. This is everyone in the city coming together. So some group of them are still out here celebrating. Others have gone back inside the city, and there is more fanfare going on inside the city walls as well. The question, though, is what would you four like to be doing this evening?
I'd like to look around for Snow, because he wasn't with us for the conversation with Elikin. And see where he is.
I believe Snow was back wherever you guys were standing initially for the ceremony, for the procession. The three of you had then gone to meet the captains, but I believe Snow stayed back where you guys were standing. So if you were to look back in that direction, past the now roaming about people of various heights, all in some they've started to put on little decorations of things. So most people were wearing something solemn, something black or dark, but you can see people are starting to put on, necklaces and bracelets with little beads and charms on them, putting things in their hair, wrapping their hair in things, throwing on like over shirts that are now these bright oranges and yellows and reds, starting to create a new look, a new color scheme among this crowd, mainly in the dark, except that they are all being lit with the dancing shadows, or between the dancing shadows from this enormous fire.
Right. Ste'yn's going to go over to Snow and see what's up. Telling Beau and Kassie what she's doing.
Beau and Kassie, eh?
I mean, Beau, shoot.
Who's Kassie?
20 sessions since she's done that.
Beau was just walking with her.
It's been so long.
It's been a long time.
Beau and Viola.
David and Viola.
It's just gonna be that kind of day, y'all.
It already is. Let's go. Sorry, bring it back.
Alright, so Ste'yn will go with Beau over to Snow. We're getting the names right. Just approach him and see what he's doing. Is he just staring at the fire? Is he...
Yep.
Snow?
Hmm?
Are you alright?
Of course.
You've just been staring at the fire.
Yes.
Alright.
What have you been doing?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, what did you say? It cut out.
What have you been doing?
Stopping a possible inter-country incident between Beau and someone from the Slyweaver clan.
There was no issue.
He was ready to kill you.
Maybe.
Maybe we have different definitions of issue.
But you didn't.
No idea what you said.
Oh. The mic is cutting out
Oh,
a fair bit.
You're still here, so
Right. Fair point. So are we staying out here for a little while? Going back inside the city?
what time is it?
By this point, because this was happening by sunset, it's probably getting on towards 9 p.m.
We have lots of time.
Wait, and then dusk is when? Because for some reason in my head I was thinking 5. Or dawn is
Prob-
dawn is what I meant. Is dawn at 5
Probably-
or 6-ish?
Dawn would probably be between like 6:30, I think, for a late summer.
See.
So we could party for an hour and still get a long rest in.
Yeah. If we so chose. Is Viola still standing off, or did she walk over too?
Viola would have walked over too. She is gonna mention, I need to find that guy so he'll buy me something. And he was at the Wild Pike. So I mean, if you guys want to keep partying out here, that's fine. But I'm probably gonna head back to the Wild Pike.
Do you know what you're gonna ask him for?
Did you find
What, Snow?
it's the same question.
Oh.
What are you asking him for?
So, Bren, we were looking up the potential cost of journals, and I think a journal would be too much. So, do you think I'd be able to find a fun little horn, maybe with some like gold stuff on it that I could use that just like kind of like Boromir's horn?
Like
Just a horn.
yeah,
I
like
mean,
like a horn that's like a functional
With that, we have
horn,
we
like
have
a
so many
horn-shaped
instruments for the event.
cup.
Mhm.
Like, what are we? Which horn are we talking about here? Like,
So, like the horn that you blow
an
into,
actual
yeah.
functional
Blow in,
musical horn.
or signal horn.
Well,
Yeah.
just like a signal horn, because she's not gonna be playing any songs. It's gonna
I
kind
want
of do the
I
one
want to
thing.
make loud noises.
Not a trumpet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure you could find something like that in the somewhere in this festival. Certain there's someone selling items like that.
So then she'll tell you guys that she saw some horn that was like 20 or 30 silver pieces somewhere in there, however much Bryn decides for it to be. That look kind of fancy, that just kind of blows the one note. And I could blow it really loud, so then if I ever get into trouble, you guys can come find me.
If Viola calls for aid, we will answer.
Can't you just not get into trouble?
Couldn't you just not get into trouble?
What trouble have I gotten into?
Well, you've gotten me to
Shall
get
I
into
list the
trouble
ways?
twice
We
now,
don't have
or
time to
myself.
list everything. If we wanted to list all the ways that the two of you have gotten into trouble, we would be here until dawn, and we don't want to do that. So, let's go.
So to the Wild Pike to find this man?
Mm-hmm. Bren, do you want to remind me of his name? Because I watched it on the way home, and I don't remember.
I believe his name was.
I want to say it started with like a Z.
It does start with a Z, like Zader or something, or
Zader, my
That sounds right.
something in that
Sound right.
line. You'd think I'd have notes on this. I
It's in
do
the tome.
somewhere. Yeah, it's in the tome, which I obviously closed. Silly me.
Everything's in the dome.
Excuse me.
Why do we ever close the tome?
Zader.
Yay! I remembered the name right. Zader and Hova. You guys met Zader and Hova, but you didn't get Hova's significant other's name.
I don't think we got Zader's friend's name either, because he was with another guy.
Yeah, or him. That's okay. Just the two
We're
that
so
clearly
good at
mattered.
asking for names.
I'm so good at giving names. I was totally ready for whatever. Always.
Fantasy name generator.
Oh yeah, I forgot to pull that up. Let's do that now while you guys are walking to the pike. Is that what's going on?
yeah.
FantasyNameGenerators.com is not on my screen right now. No, it's fine. Actually, I highly recommend if you are at home and you've considered DMing, whether you are a new DM or an older DM, have those kinds of things available to you, because they're just why make things more difficult when you can just pop up a name and play with it and go. There's your ad break. Go to FantasyNameGenerators.com.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Not even once. Okay. So you guys start heading back towards the city. You had gone maybe a quarter mile out for these festivities in a large cleared area before it hits any more of the woodlands. You can hear the sounds from behind you fading. You pass by a couple of familiar faces that you've seen throughout the novice hut. They definitely seem to want to be outside where all these festivities are going on. But even as you enter down that main road into the city, it's all lined with booths. It's lined with fanfare, with spectacle. There's dancers, there's musicians. There are a couple of people kind of who shoved themselves between with these little tables and little stools that are really rickety, but they're stabilizing themselves and their rickety tables and laying out cards and have little candies and treats. Warm, fantastic smells fill your noses as people have all kinds of treats and like heartier snacks and goods that are available, and they're calling out to sell all their goods. A little hard to hear over the music, but if you're close enough to them, they try and get your attention. But you make your way to the that main like city square where the wild pike is. When you start to head inside, you already see people standing by the doors and kind of flooded out into the street around it. Just before you're anywhere near the door, you can tell it is jam-packed in there. You can see some people are trying to kind of squeeze their way in. A halfling or two are like jamming their way between people's legs to squeeze through, but it is packed in the pike tonight. If you make your way towards it, it is definitely, you might be able to get someone's attention to move aside, but you'd have to get someone's attention or force your way through.
Viola's gonna look at the others and be like, are you guys okay if I just start trying to shove my way through here, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I think I might wait outside. That's a lot of people.
I'm not gonna make any comment about the attention you may or may not want on yourself.
I'll come with you, Viola.
Okay. Viola will like say, excuse me, pretty loudly and start to kind of push her way through. If people don't listen to her, she'll shout even louder.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Can I assist by using minor illusion to create a loud noise?
Sure.
Since it is suggested in the description of the spell, I'm going to use a lion's roar.
Okay.
I appreciate
That should get people's attention.
Totally. Yes.
That is a persuasion. 16.
16. Fantastic. Cool. So you start yelling, trying to make your way through, trying to get them to notice you as you are trying to pass, but there is just a wall of people. You're strong enough to move people aside a little forcefully. They do eventually kind of realize you're trying to get through, and the crowd, starting from the back, starts to kind of shimmy a bit. Then you hear from beside you, and throughout this area of the pike, I don't know the distance as far as it would go, but it is a loud noise in a contained area. You hear this enormous roar, and for just a moment, you miss an old friend that you haven't seen in a few days, and you may never see again. Rest in peace, James. You hear this roar. And in that moment, the people that are directly in front of you kind of jump and are startled. They're not quite steady on their feet, and you two are able to just squeeze your way through the crowd. It doesn't feel like it's lessening until you finally are on the other side of this wall of standing room only, where there appears to have been some kind of unspoken rule of don't be around all of the tables because people need to sit down if they were fortunate enough to get a seat earlier. Even along the walls, there are people sitting on these platforms, these risers that are up along this front wall here, and along the far wall where your exit would be to get into the novice hut. And the stage is currently being used by this troupe of performers. The music is fast-paced, it is exciting, immediately stirs up the want to dance and be merry and jovial. There are colorful sparks of light that kind of swirl around them as they are performing. Snow, you immediately recognize fellow casters who can make beautiful enchantments to enhance their performances. But you guys are able to wiggle your way into the Wild Pike.
So Viola will say to Snow, hey, let me know if you see that Zader guy that I made the bet with earlier, and she'll start looking around for him.
Okay.
No, we'll assist. Better if you roll with advantage.
Well, if you're going to roll search in here, so I was going to say the roll would be at disadvantage. So with the assist, you could just do a straight perception roll.
Okay, and she's going to be making her way towards the bar, like as she's walking and looking.
Cool. Sounds good.
That is a 24.
Wow. Okay. It doesn't take you as long as you kind of feared it might while you're looking about. At one of the tables along the side where the people who are standing and holding their beverages and plates of food, it wraps around the entirety of the building, of the pike, except along the bars. They give a little bit of space again to where the bar stools are and those tables. But you spot Zader at one of the tables closer to one of the walls. There's like 9 other chairs all pulled up to this table that was not meant to seat 9 at it at this particular one. But they're crammed in there, kind of almost lost in the crowd and the sounds. You see him kind of leaning over. They're in the middle of some game, and there is a plethora of steins, beer steins and such on the table all around their slightly dampened cards. One of the barmaids is actually currently starting to take some of the empty cups back. She's has some brief conversation with them and turns. You can tell immediately when you see her face that she is a half-elf. Trying to think, you probably, if you spent enough time at the Pike over the last week or so, you'd know that was Iltana. And she's consistently stopped and has to say a few words, stopped by someone else, but she makes her way from the table.
Viola will walk over to the table to Zader and tap him on the shoulder.
He almost doesn't seem to notice at first, as there have probably been so many people brushing up and bumping or tapping. But he does turn and looks up at you. His eyes are a little bleary. Lips a little chapped as he's looking up at you.
Hello, Zader. Do you remember me from earlier, Viola?
I think I would remember a beautiful face.
Don't
and a beautiful name.
Even start this. I beat you 3 times in an arm wrestling match, and you promised me 30 silver pieces value of items purchased.
One way to put it.
30 silver. What'd I do?
You're gonna buy her something worth 30 silver.
He blinks
As
hard
you
as
gave
you start
your
talking.
word.
I am a man of my word. Especially... He kind of pauses a little burp escapes him. Rubs at his lips. Especially if I promised something to a beautiful lady. But 30 silver? That's a lot. So, like how much my drinks have been. Happy Harvest Lamps!
So, you're gonna buy me this horn, and Viola will tell him which stall it is, and all that. Get out your coin purse. Let's see what you got.
Give me another persuasion check. You can roll with advantage.
Viola, people don't usually like it when you say that.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, he starts to take his coin pouch out, and
I don't like it when people make promises that they can't keep.
Can't. I didn't say I can't. I just don't. I think I remember you. I don't like being taken advantage of by a beautiful face.
How long
And
does
he's
that
like slurring.
prestidigitation last? Does Viola know? Is my face still on his cape?
It only lasts for an hour.
No.
Dang it.
It's gone.
Oh,
Well,
so
if
is
you
the
need
heart.
your memory. If you need your memory refreshed, I'm happy to beat you 3 times in a row at arm wrestling again.
3 times, and there's just pure amazement on his face. And
You also
all
might
around,
remember. And Snow used prestidigitation to put it back on his shirt.
nice.
Oh, look,
Just
your
replicate
lovely
what Beau
shirt's
did
back.
Oh, that's pretty. He's looking down at his shirt. Just kind of pokes at the material a little bit. Oh, yeah, that does sound a little familiar. But here, let me. He looks at his buddies at the table. You guys, spot me some money for this very lovely lady and her squire.
Snow's not my squire.
And they all also start laughing, and they're just shaking their heads like they're not going to give him any money. And he turns back to you. I must have forgot. I was gonna do something with. I don't have anything else on me. I've been getting money playing some games, and then I haven't been doing so hot for the rest of it. But look, if I owe you something, I'll get it for you first thing in the morning. As soon as all the stalls open back up, and I will come back.
With what money?
I'm not gonna bring my whole life savings to a bar. I'm not stupid.
Is he
So you
traveling
have
with his whole
money
life savings?
Somewhere else? In the vicinity?
In my home.
Which is where?
Whoa. I only just met you, lady.
I live here in the Pike, so you can find me anytime.
Okay, then I'll come back here and we'll go and get that, whatever you want thing.
Mr. I don't remember you. I think I need something right now as a little bit of motivation for you to keep your word.
Let me see your driver's license.
You need to see some ID, sir. he just kind of shrugged. What do you want?
Did he get his coin purse out, and is there anything in it?
He took out a small pouch, and there is nothing in it. There's 2 coppers left in it as he empties it out. There's 2 copper and some lint.
What's your full name? Zader.
I hate when people ask me that. It's Zader. Don't you laugh.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Viola will too.
Go for it.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
15.
Okay. Viola, you're more distracted by just the smell of alcohol on his breath, and the burping from earlier. That just in general, just repulsive. Snow, he does seem genuinely embarrassed that his parents had the nerve to name him their surname. Like, it's the equivalent of putting your name, like your name on a tag on your underwear. Like, you're gonna forget what your surname is.
Well, Zader. Just
Thanks.
know, we've got some friends in some very high up places, and if you do not keep your word, you will regret it.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Oh, this one you don't have proficiency in, do you?
I do.
Oh,
And
you do? Okay.
Intimidation and
So you're just bad at
persuasion.
lying.
I figured those were the 2, and
I see.
performance.
Oh, okay.
And performance. Of course our girl has
That
performance.
is an 11.
Okay. He looks like he's, as you say that, and I forgot how tall I said he was, but I feel like you're probably about at height with each other. Like, you're giving him this look as you say that, and he's like trying to return the look, and then he burps, and it's gross, and completely ruins any kind of facade he was putting up, and he leans back a little bit.
Is he tipping his chair at all when he leans back?
I guess I never said he actually stood. High or low, Viola?
Low.
Okay. It's not quite tipping. He himself is obviously drunk, but the chair itself is not tipping.
Would Viola be able to tip it over easily and make him fall?
You can give me a strength athletics check. So much rolling tonight. We only just started.
That
start a bar fight.
is a 21. She's not
Yeah.
like shoving him. She just wants to like slowly push it so that he falls
She's gonna
over.
have the Beau treatment from Darian. She's gonna get a
So-
warning.
he was leaning back as the intimidation clearly got to him, and you start leaning forward into the intimidating stance, and you kind of lean as if you have your hand on the chair for support to kind of glare at him, and you just give it enough of a pressure to tip it, and he goes tumbling back. Feet catch the edge of the table, which tosses cards, drinks spill, and he topples off of his chair. The other people at the table jump back. Some try to save their drinks. Others now have a lot of ale or other alcohol and liquid on their laps, and the cards are soaked. There's a small bit of commotion as they're begrudging the situation, and they look at him and they look at you, looking rather annoyed.
Viola will look down at him and just be like, I just can't believe you did this. You just can't do anything right. And she'll like point at him and then turn to leave.
You say that, you point at him with this disgusted look, and the others also look at him and just start saying, Zader, what are you doing, man? And they, kind of go and friendly nudging and ribbing and kicking before helping him back up just to shove him around again as they're yelling at him for ruining their cards and spilling their drinks. And as you walk away, there's immediately Iltana is on her way returning. One of the bar lads, the kind of awkward androgynous one, is also returning or coming in that area to help clean and get them new drinks.
Well, let's get out of here, Snow, before I do something. I don't know. But I had to get back some way, just in case he doesn't pay me back.
When Viola turns to leave, Snow is going to lean in to the guy and just whisper in his ear, I suggest you keep your word. And he has to make a wisdom saving throw against my suggestion.
Okay. What's the DC?
15.
He did not succeed that. You leave this suggestion, this little earworm for him. He kind of looks in your direction before his buddies start pulling him up, all yelling and, jostling him about. And you two exit the scene. Where are you headed? Back to the others, or? Okay.
Yeah.
It's much easier to leave than it was to enter. People are more than happy to let people get out of their way than they are to let people get in their way. And you head back outside of the pike, where the other two are.
Ste'yn had
I don't
looks
think
for
we'll
the
have to worry about him.
But like the what?
the least crowded space around that would still be in view of the exits, and headed that way with Beau. Just to not be around quite so many people, hopefully.
Back inside or outside?
No, outside.
Outside.
Waiting outside.
Oh, okay. It's a generally full square with more stands being put up, tents. There's actually a large stage set up outside as well. It looks like it's empty for now, it seems, but there are people sitting about it and drinking and dancing on their own. But you're able to find just a small little pocket of area where people are walking past maybe, but not kind of, what's the word I
Cool.
want? Being,
Congregating?
existing. Yeah, that one. Words are hard.
They are.
So what are you guys doing this evening? Or are you trying to get to bed?
Viola will walk back over to him and explain what happened and how in the morning she might have left out the part over purposefully tipping his chair. She might have said that he tipped his chair and he's so drunk he just fell over, and she'll kind of eye Snow to see if he's gonna rat her out or not. But she'll ask everybody else what they want to do because she's up for whatever.
Well, which of the events are we doing? Tomorrow and the week.
Tomorrow is that keep your hand on the pole situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I heard that there's a drinking contest tomorrow afternoon as well.
Only if you're not still at the pole.
Right. So, I mean, those were the only two that really caught my eye.
Well, if we're doing the poll, we probably don't want to be up too late.
Well, so we need to fight back through there to go to bed?
We could always see if the graveyard's crowded.
It's probably not. It's a
Exactly.
graveyard, not a graveyard.
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys turn it into one when you get there.
True, you know how
What's the
Ste'yn
rate?
loves to party. Classic Ste'yn.
Well, I guess we can head that way then, unless you have any other suggestions, Beau.
About where to sleep?
Yeah, if we're gonna fight our way back through the crowd, or if we're gonna all just go to the graveyard.
Well, I'm not fighting a crowd.
Graveyard.
I'd rather
is-
To
not
be
be
fair,
there's
you're
too
the
many
only
people.
one who have been sleeping there anyway, Viola.
You guys have all been sleeping there?
You've been missing out on the fun.
Yeah.
They have a tree there.
According to the other girls in our room, y'all are weird. Which, don't get me wrong, I love you, but you are. But
I've never claimed to
Whatever.
not
Witness
be.
for that.
ew. Okay, let's go.
Ew.
Viola will start walking towards the graveyard.
You could sleep in the tree instead to give you some distance between yourself and the graves.
Yeah, but what if I fall out of the tree?
Don't.
Okay, I just won't. That's how that works.
I knew you'd catch on.
I guess we have plenty of rope. I could tie myself to it.
And then you'll just roll over and end up hanging off the branch.
That's better than being on the ground, I guess.
You just sleep in the hut.
But the tree's farther away from the dead people.
The dead
No,
are
it's
very
not.
quiet.
It's in the graveyard.
Yeah, but it's in the air. If I'm in the tree, I'm in the air. Everybody knows zombies can't climb trees.
They also couldn't
Have you
go
ever
in the
met a
hut.
zombie?
Oh yeah,
True.
but what if they're already underneath the hut? Does that still work? She'll look at snow.
I mean, technically, yes. If they were in the hut when I cast the spell, then they would be able to. But that's why we have Ste'yn. You think she's gonna let something happen to you like that? She can
I've
take a
already
zombie.
almost died 3 times since I met you guys. Not to diss
you
Ste'yn
haven't
at all,
died.
because I know she'll keep me alive, but still. I've been in
Would it
way
feel
more
better if
danger
I
since I met you
installed
guys than I was before.
Zombies aren't that dangerous.
I can
I've
make
never
sure
met
there's
one.
nothing undead near us before we set up the hut.
Well, I'm more
There you go.
about if something were to just, pop up.
I can make sure there's nothing in the area where the hut is set up, therefore nothing could just pop up.
Oh, well, that's never a bad
I
idea.
can sense the dead things.
I'm not
as you might put it.
surprised.
We're walking and talking, by
Yeah.
the way.
Thank you for the clarification.
Oh yeah, both of those things that I got, I need to become friends with them.
Yes, you do.
Good luck.
Do I just sit there and talk to them? I don't know how it works.
You must sit there and hold them, and you must tell them how much they mean to you. You must tell them how much you appreciate them.
It helps to also
It
balance
helps
it
if
on
you
your
tell
head.
them.
You guys are so mean. Insight
It
check.
also helps a lot if you tell them something that's very personal to you, like a secret about yourself, because then that helps to form a closer connection.
Are you
with
just
them.
insight checking all 3
If
of us?
you show vulnerability,
Okay.
We won't insight check Ste'yn. She, regardless what Ste'yn says, 9 times out of 10, Viola's gonna trust her. But she's
But if
definitely insight checking the boys.
Ste'yn, are you what you're saying is going along with what the boys are saying as well?
Yes,
So
I'm helping
Viola-
them.
Yeah, Viola, you're
Can
going
she
to be
help
rolling
both
at
of us? Or I see. So it's just gonna be her
Viola's
at
rolling
disadvantage.
at disadvantage.
I see. Cool.
Because she loves you guys, and she believes you, and she knows nothing about magic.
That's not bad. That's a 10.
I got 14.
Good luck, ma'am.
I got a 21.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
I rolled an 8. That's crap.
That's
You're
magic,
speaking
baby.
Glasses. Viola's gonna rip those glasses off your face
No,
and
this
use
is
them.
deception. That's the thing.
Oh
He's
yeah,
really
I
good,
forgot
you know?
you're not rolling
Not the
insight.
glasses. I also love that that's the
Okay.
reaction is to rip them off of his face. You should
So
absolutely
she-
do that one time.
You could try.
She,
Uh-huh.
well, I don't think Viola actually understands those glasses enough to like put two and two together.
He just got some sick new glasses, that's all.
Yeah. Okay, Viola believes you, and she's like, okay, am I gonna have enough time to just like do that before I go to bed, or am I gonna have to wait for like another like? Do I have to do it for just like 10 minutes, or is it like 5 hours?
Usually it's about an
Usually you
hour
want to
each.
spend at least an you want to spend at least an hour, but like I said, you know, it does help if you pour your heart into it a little bit, you know.
While maintaining balance.
You don't want to for one
We'll
item
help
more
you
than
with
the
that.
other. They might be jealous.
Hey, you guys. Oh, well, whenever they get to the graveyard, Viola plans on attuning to her medallion of protection, I think.
Okay.
Beau's gonna attune to the heart thing, the quiver of heart or whatever it was called.
You guys get to Saker's Keep, and while it is not the road, almost all of the main roads have people, have merchants, have festivities of some kind. It does lessen as you approach Saker's Keep. The tall stone, the tall flat rectangular stone building, and its mess of flowers that have outgrown the beds. The gate is still down. Welcoming people in. Give me a perception check, everyone.
It's 24.
Perception, you said?
24.
Yes.
Twinsies.
Hashtag twinning.
I got a dirty
Also, for the last
20.
encounter, I'm doling them out like bennies. I realize you can only have one bit of inspiration, but you can, if you do not have inspiration, you may have inspiration from that last encounter.
Right.
See, if I don't say it immediately, I forget, but I don't want to interrupt what's going on to say it.
Put it in the
But I-
chat.
That's true, I could.
True.
I could do that. And everyone at home, they all got inspiration, and you were there to witness why. Congratulations. So 24, 24,
Dirty 20.
20,
15.
15. Okay. When you get there, and it is night at this point, there are a number of acolytes that appear to be roaming about. There are some that are right there in the opening, that outdoor area, and then there are some more that are just sitting on some benches in the atrium. Although as soon as you walk in, they immediately stand and step aside as if to make sure you have a space to sit if you choose. Even in the hallways as you're passing by, while you don't see much of the doors opening in and out to any of the prayer rooms, you do see a number of acolytes moving about. Viola and Ste'yn, I'd say Beau as well. You guys note that there just seems to be a little cluster of acolytes. They're just talking amongst themselves. But they're standing in front of the doorway that you, Beau, became familiar with, trying to get into the offices downstairs. But you all know that that's the direction to where, like, the healing room was, where you were in these prior days. There's this cluster of acolytes standing in front of it, Yonai being one of them. But you just happen to notice what you notice in general is that there's more activity maybe than you were expecting for an otherwise relatively chilled out place like Saker's Keep.
What
Oh.
is the feel of the activity? Is it like tense? Is it joyous? Is it worried?
And how far away is it?
How far away is what?
The activity that's happening? You're saying that they were coming and going through places, didn't you? Or did I misunderstand that?
No. It's just like as you're walking through the hallways, there's just people will pass you by, but it's just more people than you might have been expecting. Ste'yn, you can do an insight check.
Didn't realize we went inside the building. I thought we were staying in the graveyard.
It's outside. It's on the other side of... The direct path would be to go through the building. There's those two doors on the opposite end that lead down the path, and there's the graveyard.
So it's just people roaming about the hallways.
It's just acolytes, yeah.
Okay.
19.
Okay. There is a bit of tenseness, or at least studiousness. They are on duty. They are prepared to be working, but also a little bit of tenseness.
Beau's gonna yawn and try to hide his vocal component for casting grease on the area that they're moving about.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
All right. Oh man. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you let out this little yawn, and within that sound, that's otherwise casual, is a little bit of intonation.
And they all have to make saving throws in a 10-foot square.
So then let me paint the picture here. So when you walk out of the atrium, say through the left arch, right? It would be that perpendicular hallway, another, 15, 20 feet down to your right would be the door leading to that direction. They're not moving, they're just clustered there.
Yeah, they still have to do it. As long as when you cast grease, everyone in the area has to make a saving throw.
So you're doing it in front of them?
I'm doing it underneath them.
Okay. So not the... Okay. Got you. Okay. I was just making sure I understood.
This will teach them of making it hard to get in those offices.
This will teach them to stop me from breaking into things. Let's say it's a group of 4 of them. We'll see how they do. What's the save?
15.
Ooh. It's a dexterity?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You yawn and cast, and you watch as immediately 3 of the 4 who were standing otherwise very normally just lose their footing, collapse to the ground. Yonai is still on his feet, just barely stabilizing himself as he tries to grab someone's hand and keep them standing. Kind of at least stops them from completely splatting to the floor.
When Viola sees that, she tries to walk away before any of them look in their direction because she doesn't want to be around if they get in trouble.
Fair enough. It's a 10-foot range?
So it's a 60-foot range.
No, I mean the actual...
It's a 10 by 10 that it takes up, but you could cast it up to 60 feet away.
I don't have the map pulled up to see just how large. They're not very wide hallways either, per se.
Well, I mean, 4 people, that would be like because it's a square, so every person takes up a 5-foot square, so 4 is the perfect number because that's the amount that he could cover. So basically, they would be in a 4 square. And
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna overthink that. That's fine. Okay. I was just saying that you might want to go in the opposite direction to get to the back than to take the door that would otherwise be essentially right in front of you. You might want to turn in the other direction. Would just be a little friendly advice from the voice from nowhere. Otherwise, you'd be stepping in your own grease. So,
Oh, he could do
yeah,
prestidigitation.
Viola. That's up to you. Viola turns the other way. She's not interested in getting in trouble. What are you three doing? That works too, Ste'yn. I get it.
Snow goes over
That's a free action.
to them. Snow goes over to them, and he's like, "Oh dear, how are you all okay?" And he's gonna cast prestidigitation to clean the grease up, and then help the three who fell, help them up to their feet. Are you all right? What happened?
Yonai immediately answers as he's helping you help them up, and he says, "Well, obviously some people have the festivities on their mind," and he's helping brush the others off, and then realizing, the prestidigitation is very helpful to remove the grease, and he thanks you for your help as he's looking around to see who might have done it. If you guys are still walking off, you can see your
Ste'yn's
back,
just
but
watching, looking back and forth.
Oh.
Just
I mean, Beau wasn't phased, and he was just moving forward.
Which way?
Like
Towards
forward
them
the
or
way
away?
the way that's gonna get him to the graveyard the fastest.
So past your own grease.
Yeah, I mean it's cleaned up now, or if it's not, he'll just clean
Well,
it
it's
up
not
as he
there
walks.
anymore.
Okay. I thought you meant you were still walking before. Okay. Yeah, no, he's just saying, some people are just clearly getting into the festivities and not caring that people are on duty
Ain't
here,
that
and maybe they
just
should
the
keep the
way?
festivities elsewhere. And he
So
waves to you
true.
too,
And
saying,
as Snow is helping them up, he's going to do a little quick investigation to see if anyone has a pendant that looks awfully like the one Jeremy had.
"Okay, give me an investigation check."
Not good. 11.
You're not certain exactly, because even the pendant, while nice, it was still relatively simplistic looking, just had a certain bit of design to it, but you're not necessarily familiar if it was something actually specific. But you do see that one of the girls that was part of that, you helped her up. As you were helping her up, she does have a bracelet herself that has a little metal pendant on it. Just by the time you stood up and you were helping her, her sleeve from her robe maybe had fallen over it, so you didn't get a really close look. But she does have a bracelet with a metal pendant on it.
All right, he's gonna ask about it.
Uh,
That's similar to the one that I'm wearing. Where did you get it?
Oh, yeah. And she rolls her sleeve back up. She doesn't seem to mind at all as you guys compare. And
Sure.
yeah, we're just comparing bracelets. We're going to make them friendship bracelets. Winning again. She says that she had picked it up from the pike. That they were they have a little booth set up. It's very busy, she says. And it started picking up even more as the booth opened up. But they were basically just giving out trinkets in honor of the festival. Isn't it cute?
It is. So you just got it today?
Yeah, tonight.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm. I imagine
When
you got
she's
yours.
showing it to him, does it look the same, or is it just similar?
Does it swish?
It
Does it smell like blood?
and we hear the blood shaking inside of it.
If you put it up to your ear, you can hear the ocean. Give me another investigation check now that you can see it very clearly.
Oh, much better. 22.
Fantastic. You can see that it does look similar in that it just has a very simple design and a couple of little, it looks like little pinpricks in it. But what is most notable about it is that it appears to have a bit of a shimmer to it, as if maybe in its creation it was made with some kind of like, it almost looks like it looks very much like crushed diamond. Maybe it was like made in the mix or something, or maybe it was designed to look that way.
But it's not identical. It's just very similar.
Yeah, not identical, very similar. You'd think it'd be the same designer, but a different item on the line. And she says if you're looking for some that they're, if you want something other than a bracelet, something to go with what else you're wearing, they were giving out all kinds of fun things. Where like there were these really cool belt buckles. They just had chains, so you could put your own items on them. They had rings. They were giving out some novelty things too, like thimbles. I like to sew, but I'm not that clumsy. But they had like little thimbles. They had some like novelty horseshoe looking things. They had a lot of things. I think they really took the time to just make something for everyone. It was very nice of them.
That's so much fun. I'm Snow, by the way. Sorry, I did.
No problem. Sorry, I also didn't introduce myself. My name is Lara.
Pleasure to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Try to, all of you, not just you, Laura, but all of you, try to stay on your feet. All right.
Well, we'll do our best. I guess
Everyone's
we've got
okay though.
Yonai to protect us.
Can always
yeah,
count on Yonai.
we can. He's basically in charge of the night shifts, although he's had to switch around a little bit. I don't know that the schedule's agreeing with him, huh? And he just kind of shrugs. It's like, I go where I'm
Are
told
you
to
not
go.
getting enough sleep?
I'm doing my best. Sometimes my dreams get busy.
That's a mood.
Isn't it? No, it's just one of those, I'm used to the night shift, and I'm glad I'm back on the night shift. But I was replacing when Jeremy was out, because he's doing the day, and I think I told you that already.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully he's back, so.
Good.
I don't think the swamp agreed with him much, but what are you gonna do?
Oh, the swamp?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
he
where
mentioned
he
he was
went.
helping. Yeah, he was helping. There was a group, I think it was some wardens, that they were, whatever they were doing. I didn't really ask for all the detail, but they thought it'd be best to have an acolyte with them, a cleric, healing, protection, whatever they needed. Bull Swamp can get a little wild.
I can.
Mhm.
Been there once myself. That was an interesting time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going just to say I've been once, but not for more than one trip. Probably fine.
You do go wear better boots.
Better boots. I hope if I were asked to go with a group of wardens, or would they send novices that far? Oh, maybe. They'd prepare us. I mean, look, Jeremy made it back and he's prepared. And he's not the best at preparing himself. He's great at what he does. Like I was telling Ste'yn as well. He's great at what he does. Sometimes he can be a little clumsy. Probably just needs a little more confidence.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
I don't know, I'm pretty fine. Maybe I can give y'all some of mine.
If you
You're
learn
just
how to
the
share
exception.
it, clearly. Oh, Tamar says hi. That was the one you were talking to before. Pink.
Who
Acolyte
is he
robes.
saying that to? He's
To
saying that
you,
to
yeah.
Snow.
Okay.
To Snow.
Sorry, for a second I thought you were talking to Ste'yn, and I was just like, when did Ste'yn talk to her?
She did briefly talk to all of you, I think,
Briefly,
after
because
the incident.
Viola spouted like everything they had just done in front of her, and Ste'yn was like, "Oh, she's just joking."
JK LOL. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's not on the night shift as well. I hope she's getting some
No,
rest.
she's definitely a morning person. Somehow.
Speaking of night shifts and morning people, we should get on our way.
Oh, you sleeping in the graveyard again?
Of course, it's quieter than anywhere else. There's too many people around in the Pike.
There are a lot of people over at the Pike, aren't there? Sorry for the people who have to work up there.
Glad it's not us.
And Lara kind of chimes in. I wouldn't mind being up there.
You should sneak away.
She kind of like looks at Yonai for a second, looks back at you. Now I should. In fact, there's going to be so many drunk people up there. Yonai, I think they're going to need some help. I should be up there and he just holds up his hand. Stop.
I didn't realize
Just
you guys
stop.
were in the business of helping drunks.
Not normally. She'll look for any excuse to get out of here. And Lara just shrugs.
Well, you'll have a good night. I hope it's not too exciting.
Why would you wish a curse on us like that? Lara just kind of mopes a little bit.
I hope you never know the kind of excitement that makes me wish that.
I hope I do. But good night. They all wish you good night.
Just wait until Yonai's back is turned. And Snow is gonna give her a wink and give her bardic inspiration in case she decides to try to stealth away. At
Yes!
some point
Lara's
during
going to the Pike.
But we'll go
So
to
you guys-
we'll say goodnight and go to the graveyard.
Sounds good. And you part and make your way to the graveyard, setting up your tiny hut.
Yep. Ste'yn,
Viola
before the
going to-
tiny hut is set up, Ste'yn will use Eyes of the Grave to make sure there are no undead within 60 feet of us.
I don't know if Viola's actually ever been to the graveyard, but my plan for her was just to go. I guess she would have gone outside and just tried to like walk around the building until
Well,
she find it because she's assuming it's outside.
Well, she came and told us about her incident with the animals, and we were in the graveyard then. So she definitely has come to the
yeah.
graveyard.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's a direct path
been there.
out. There is path outside on the sides of the building because that's where the training areas are on either
Okay.
side. But the graveyard is directly back on this very long kind of cobblestone-ish path. One side of the path is this elongated garden with various areas, and the other side is this long patch with numerous gravestones and urns and such. Keep your veggies by your dead. It's important. That's the trick old mama had to teach you.
Best fertilizer out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do we get a long rest then?
You
I want to get to the events.
will. Sure. Oh, Catherine, come back. I need you. You guys rest just fine. Catherine needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, Viola does sit down and become friends with her medallion of protection.
Yeah, you could do both of them because you only
Do
need
hear
6
her
hours of
whispering
sleep.
Any secrets?
She probably wouldn't have told anything that you guys haven't already heard.
Dagnab.
But so she does then. She does say something, and we're just like, oh, the story about her mother.
Oh, it's about her horse Chestnut.
Sorry, there was someone up. Someone needed something. We're good now, though.
No worries. But since you're back, can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
I did. That's a dirty 20.
Fantastic. Now I have to find where I was because I scrolled on the page. Silly me. Oh, I found it. Just kidding. You said dirty 20?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. You go to sleep. Close your eyes. And your eyes open again. You are looking out into a field that was certainly not there when you went to sleep. It is a field, just grass. It's lush, rich green grass that reaches all the way to the horizon. Nothing else is with you to block your view. You look down, and at your feet, you see the only thing that interrupts the otherwise just field of grass. You see a few roses that have grown up in a little circle around you. They look beautiful. They look newly blossomed. The petals have begun to really stretch back to give it that full bloomed look. Each one is a deep, beautiful red. They look lovely enough to collect. What do you do?
Sort of crouch down and examine them a little bit.
Mhm.
And then probably start gathering them carefully.
Okay. You look down closely at them, and you can see every now and then, just a couple inches apart, there are small little thorns on them. It's easy enough for you to start picking them from the ground, and they pull straight up. And when you see the bottom, they look like they've been freshly cut. As you start to gather these roses, you pick up one, a second one, a third one. As you grab the fourth one, you can feel the prick in your finger. When you look, there's a droplet of blood on your fingertip. The blood drips from down your hand, falls to the ground, falls into the dirt, lost among the grass. The pinprick on your finger begins to bleed a little more, as if it were deeper than you expected. And now, instead of just a little droplet, it's this steady dribble of blood going down your hand, dripping from your palm, touching the ground, each drip becoming almost like a steady flow as you're watching it hit the ground and puddle at your feet. From that puddle, this dark mist begins to rise. It starts to cover your feet. The little puddle of blood is now completely covered by this deep, thick, dark mist. And the one sense you get for certain as you're looking at it is that this is not this is not your blood. Or at the very least, this is not just your blood. And even with this dark mist now rising up, reaching towards your knees, coming up towards your waist, and spreading across the grass, reaching out further and out towards the horizon, clearly on a path to consume everything around it. You can still feel the blood as your feet move, padding into a little puddle of it. This blood that could be anybody's. And as you blink again, your eyes open, staring up at the sky as you're laid out in your spot in the tiny hut. You don't feel tired, you feel rested. You do feel a little itch on your hand where you had felt that that thorn prick you in your dream.
She looks at her hand for any actual injury or blood.
Oh. You just see your holy symbol. It's the only thing there. Nothing else looks scratched.
Is it morning, or should she go back to sleep?
Dawn is breaking. So, good morning, everyone. You guys have woken up on the dawn of the first full day of the Harvest Lamps Festival. Welcome. We've made it. You do already, well, actually where you are, it's still very quiet. Quiet as the grave, you might say. What are you guys up to this morning?
We're gonna go touch a pole.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Maybe even grab some breakfast along the way.
Yeah.
That's fair.
If we have the time.
Yeah, it's still pretty dark out. I mean, if you were trying to make yourselves get up prior to dawn. Yeah, it's still dark out.
I did just because I looked at the main events list and I did have a thought that I meant to ask about earlier. I saw that day 5, the arms race says it's sponsored by Golden Arms. Does that have anything to do with a certain somebody from Viola's past?
Is Kassie asking or is Viola asking?
How would
Viola
be
would
it?
see that and want to know, yeah. Like, I personally didn't remember if that was a specific name that we had put for his business or if it was just the Goldman family business or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Viola
I feel
definitely.
like Viola would know.
Yeah, Viola would definitely recognize the name.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey, maybe we can kill him.
I'm sure he'll just be hanging out here. He's
Exactly.
accessible to do that.
I already offered
Definitely.
to kill him.
Viola would point that out to her friends, and so she's gonna be on high alert like all week.
Do
Or
you
Viola.
want to, like, hide yourself? Do you want my cloak? Do you want to take off the crown?
Not really. I think it'll be okay. I probably
I'm getting mixed
won't.
messages here.
I probably won't participate in the arms race. That's for sure. But like, I didn't normally look like this back then. So
I have an idea. He's gonna make her a redhead.
Oh!
Etching.
Look like a completely different person.
There you go.
I don't like it, but fine.
To the Tower of Power.
The Tower of Power we go.
And off you go. You exit, make your way back through unless you wanted to go all the way around the building. Most direct route is through. You go back through Saker's Keep. It's still kind of a flurry of the evening activity of the acolytes. You head out. There are some either early morning or late night stalls. It's a little hard to tell. But if you wanted to grab some food, there are a couple of places that would sell some little items that you could eat, ranging anywhere from some copper for something really small, like a muffin or something, like a mini muffin, to a few silver if you were looking to get yourself a nice slab of meat or something.
A turkey leg?
Yes, just a turkey leg.
We all get turkey legs. We're just walking around with them.
Turkey legs from the late night vendor. He's got a couple left over. Maybe they look very juicy. The turkey legs would probably be a silver each if you were gonna grab those. So you can mark those off. Snow, can you roll a d4 for me, please? I've definitely been forgetting that. I mean, no, I haven't.
1.
Okay. You can subtract that. Yeah.
Hey, when did it happen?
Hmm?
In the hut?
Which one of you stole it? You tell me.
That's why I'm wondering when they had the opportunity to, when we were sleeping in the hut. Well, he was, I wasn't.
It makes me think it was Beau. Guys, it was Beau.
He couldn't even enter the hut.
Guys, it was totally Beau. Anyway, so the Tower of Power is over by the...
I mean, I don't think we're doing anything in between. We could just say we're there.
No, but just so you know where it is, I thought I made a note of where I put the thing. Yeah, it's over in the Inquirer's Ward. And before you guys even reach the wall of that ward, you can already see this enormous structure, darker than the dark sky, the slowly dawning sky. It's just this gigantic, 30-foot diameter structure, this cylinder that just reaches up towards the sky. At the very top of it, every now and then you see a little shock of lightning, as if it were itself calling on a storm. And you also see the hold on, let me pull up where I am. Over here it is. You also see a little white-ish swirl by the top every now and then, as if a quick flurry had spun about it and then dissipated. And when you arrive, there's already a bit of a crowd there. There's a poorly formed line of people who are heading up towards a table in this cleared out section of wider street. They're heading towards this line of tables where people appear to be signing their names, and then giving them some kind of little badge, and then they start walking over towards the tower. So you guys, I imagine, get into the line. Is everyone participating this one?
Yep.
I think we're rolling.
Yeah, and when they're about
Cool.
10 minutes from getting to the structure, Beau's going to do the ritual casting for Unseen Servant.
Unseen Servant. Okay. Yep, not a problem. So that's completely invisible to
Yeah.
anyone?
The spell
Except
creates
you?
an invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force. that perform simple tasks.
Okay. Perfect. Let's make a note of that. Beau's unseen servant. Easy enough. It follows along with you. It probably takes you. How long does the spell last?
Well, that's why I was going to do it when it looked like he was roughly 10 minutes from approaching the thing. Because he
The
said they were on
table?
a line. Whatever they're
Yeah.
touching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's going to start it roughly about that, but it lasts for an hour at a time.
Okay. So what you see is people, by the time you're getting towards the front of the line, people are writing their names on this long piece of parchment. When the parchment gets full, you see them, you see the people who are helping take that one, set it aside, set it under or whatever. Next people start signing. You guys get up to the front, and there are a couple of jovial looking volunteers from the city who you can see they're distinct by an arm badge similar to what you guys had when you were assisting. They welcome you, say welcome to the Tower of Power, our first big event of the festival. It's so good to see some fresh new faces. We've got some champions joining us today as well. Everyone had their morning coffee. I hope you're ready to stay awake, stand firm. We just need you to sign your names and we'll give you a badge and let you head over to the tower. Don't touch it yet. Don't touch it yet. Don't touch until we begin. So, who's up? Who's up? And he'll hand a quill over to first person.
Morning people are the worst.
Maybe you were just slow.
And the person at the table,
one.
the person at the table beside them seems to have a very similar idea, as they are much less chipper welcoming people to the event. Just handing the quill, saying, "Sign your name. I'll give you a badge. Don't touch the tower yet." Hand it to the next person. You start signing. Ste'yn, you go ahead, sign. You're handed a badge, and you are sent off. Snow, you do the same, and it's asking for a first and last name. Viola, you are handed the badge. Not the badge, the quill. And what name are you writing down, Viola?
She would put Viola still, and then because she didn't really think about whether she should or not, she's gonna put Viver for her last name, because that was the first thing that came to mind. That wasn't Bear Garden, even though it's still not a real last name. It's further away.
Okay. You finish writing the name and take the quill up and start to hand it back. And you see that the ink that was black turns red. And the chipper gentleman looks down and he says, "I'm so sorry, and I understand we want some level of anonymity. Totally get that. In a lot of cases, we have a lot of people traveling. We have a lot of performers who go by, their stage names. So if that's your situation, I totally understand. But due to the nature of the contest, we will need proper names. We don't show this to anybody else. This is just for the effects of the tower."
I'm just gonna not participate then, and Viola will get out of line.
Are you sure? It's really fun.
Yeah, she'll tell Beau what happened. I'm sure. Well, Beau probably would have just heard and seen it anyways if he was still over there. If not, she'd make sure to flag him down and tell him real quick, and then go out to the side. Actually, before she goes all the way away, she might ask him, "Are all the competitions like this?"
I don't handle the other ones. I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I was just trained for this one, but the nature of this one, we need to be able to know who our participants are.
I got it. No worries. And Viola will go find a spot in like wherever the audience is sitting to watch.
Okay. Have a great festival. Next up. He hands the quill towards you, Beau.
I mean, Beau's gonna just put down the name he's been using.
He's writing Beau Evanwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
actually, no. He will write his real name, but he's gonna write it in Infernal.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Yeah, you write the name in these letters that as the gentleman is just standing there just politely nodding and smiling, and then he sees what you're writing and he stops he was kind of foot tapping a little bit as he's just kind of bored waiting, and you do hear the foot tapping stop as you are signing your name. Look back up and give him the quill. He takes it back from you and hands you a badge, motion to the tower, nods, doesn't say anything.
All right.
Give me a perception check.
Just Beau or all of us?
Just Beau.
So that is a 14 or a 19.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I wrote the wrong word there. I wanted this word. Cool. Okay. Go ahead and mark your psionic die.
All right.
That's the one you used, right?
Yeah.
You see as you're taking the badge, as you start walking over, at the corner of your eye, you see before he hands the quill to the next person, you were in the first quarter of that page. Your name was there. You see him take the sheet and put it under the table and get a fresh sheet, like where he's been putting the other papers.
Well, can I also say when he goes to move the sheet, Beau is also going to cast Prestidigitation to soil the sheet.
Could he have his unseen servant steal his sheet?
I didn't think about that one, but
I didn't think about that one. You wanted to soil the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. He goes to move the sheet down, and you do see him pause a moment as the parchment becomes messy. And he kind of looks panicked for a minute. He quickly talks to the person next to him. Are you watching this whole thing happen?
He's gonna walk away, but once he gets to where he needs to, he's gonna have Clive fly over, and he's gonna look through Clive to see
Claude?
what they do.
Huh?
Claude, yeah, Claude. Sorry.
Are we changing the
No.
bat's name?
No,
I
sorry.
thought you had named your unseen servant Clive.
No,
That would be great.
That is
Can
what
that
he'll
be his
call
name?
it. Actually, maybe Chives.
Chives? Claude and Chives.
Oh, Chives. Oh, Chives.
It's like his unseen butler.
Jeeves?
Jeeves.
Now it's Chives. Jumping Chives.
So what does
Chives.
Claude see?
Claude sees them quickly. Well, so you walked away. Then you cast your familiar.
So as he
or
was
brought him
walking away, which he would do quickly, he has Claude flying the opposite direction because it's not a cast that he's doing because he still has it. He just pulls out
You
of the
still have
pocket
to pull
dimension.
him out.
Yeah. So he just
Okay.
does that, and then it
No,
flies
that's
over.
fine. He flies over. By the time he flies over, you can see the volunteer that you were talking to. He has a new piece of parchment on the table with the quill, and you can see them folding up the previous one. They're not getting rid of it. He appears to be pocketing it, and then continuing to sign people up. You can see also that some other volunteers are towards the end of the line where they appear to be cutting people off, apologizing, but this event is now full. And some people are being forced to either sit and watch, or they are making their way back to the city and other festival grounds. So you got here at a good time. It probably takes another half hour before everyone is settled in. And you do see someone going about, looking around at each of the contestants. And you see actually that same volunteer, you see him going around. He appears to be looking over. There's probably, like, I don't know, it's a good number of people. 50? 75? A lot of people. It's a big city. I imagine there's a lot of people participating. And you can see this person is looking about, pulls a few people from the crowd, and you can see him pulling out that soiled sheet of parchment. He looks very apologetic as he hands them a quill and a different piece of parchment to have them sign. Give me Beau.
Yeah.
I would have you, well, all of you can if you want, who are participating. Give me another perception check.
So did you say he was handing it off?
No,
the
he is
paper?
holding on to the soiled one.
Oh, okay. It's in
He's
his
giving
like
them
pocket.
a new one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is perception?
Yes.
All right. I got a 17.
Okay.
30, 20.
Then
Okay. Snow, you hate waiting. Waiting sucks. I feel you. That's a mood. But waiting you are, and entertaining yourself. Beau and Ste'yn, you realize as the person has signed their name, their little badge gives a little flash. It kind of gives you the sense like it's been activated. Beau, you look at your badge and you can see it's just this like rectangular piece that's pinned to you. But you can see that yours looks rather dull compared to like Ste'yn's, which just has a bit more saturation to it. The person is going about looking for a few other contestants, pulls just a few out, has them sign. You see him looking around the pole, and he appears to be, you can imagine he'd be looking for you.
He's looking. Okay.
Going about.
So, well, here's
Making
the
his way.
question.
Uh-huh.
So, under prestidigitation, it says you create an instantaneous, harmless sensory effect, such as like shower of sparks, a puff of wind. So, since this is a sensory effect that is on these pins, can he use prestidigitation to make it look like it's flashing? Because if you can create sparks, then I feel like you can create flash.
Yeah, and it's not like a flash or anything. It's just, it looks more, the ones that are active just appear to be more saturated in color, right? Like it's otherwise like a stony gray.
Oh, then he can match the color.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right.
Sure.
He does that.
Okay. Okay. The volunteer is looking around. His eyes glance past you in your direction, keeps going, doesn't seem to notice anything askew, and he goes back to the volunteer table. Shortly after that, you all hear a booming voice. Everyone can hear it that is gathered around at the Tower of Power. The voice says, "Welcome, one and all, to the Tower of Power. Before we begin, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this grand event. By ones who are truly grand themselves, visitors from afar. They can't all be with us today, but we are still grateful for this gift. We'd like to thank those from the Ember Eyes Institute for this incredible piece of arcane wonder." And you hear some applause going about the crowd that picks up. The voice continues, "The rules are simple. You must have your hand on the tower at all times. For no reason may you leave this tower. You must also have at least 1 foot on the ground at all times. If you are to remove your hand from the tower, you are disqualified. No magic may be used to affect your participants or your fellow participants. If you think that you're strong enough to withstand the tower with your own power," and he kind of pauses as if waiting for an uproarious laugh, and there's just like some sad small chuckles in the crowd. "Then by all means be my guest. However, you must keep your arcane prowess below any magic that would be outside of the spirit of this event. Mechanically speaking, it wouldn't be spells above.
Mechanically speaking.
It wouldn't be spells above like 3rd level or something.
Well,
Like,
none of us
you
can
can't
do a
use
spell
Highest
above
Viola.
3rd
we got
level.
anyway.
Yeah.
There you go.
Viola
There you
boos
go.
from the crowd.
Boo! Let them use magic.
Wait, we just need to have a foot on the ground so we could just sit. Didn't say we had to stand.
You need to have your foot planted on the ground. Well, he didn't specify. You didn't ask them, but you would be told. At least a foot planted on the ground, hand on the tower. You just can't let go. Our lucky winner will be the one who endures the longest. Get ready to be here a while, friends. We'll have music playing for you. However, we cannot offer food, water, things like that. If you needed the restroom, I'm sorry, you've missed your opportunity.
Oh, outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, please no lewdness at the Tower of Power.
Whatever it takes.
If you'd like to request for someone to get you a diaper, you are welcome to do so.
I mean, if you didn't hear about him sitting, then I don't think he heard him say that.
This guy's probably volunteered a few times. He's probably had some folks who were up here drunk and were just like, "Listen, man, I gotta go." So they have some pre-warnings. That all being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready, at the gong, you will place your hands on the tower. His voice goes quiet. There's kind of a rumbling of excited voices, friends and family chatting with each other around you. The sun is steadily rising. And as you just see it kind of fully cresting the horizon, you hear this loud, booming gong sound. And you place your hands on the tower.
And then Beau's gonna command
Viola.
Chives to hold his arm up in position.
Excellent.
Viola cheers really loudly for Beau and Snow and Ste'yn.
It's like, yay! And there are some people around you, Viola, sitting near you. And they're also cheering on their friends and or family who are participating.
Wait, so Viola can see them? Where she's standing? Right? You said
I would
that?
assume she would try to find a spot wherever in the crowd so that she'd be in the front row and could see you guys and be close to you. I mean, I
Cool.
don't know how big of an arena situation it is, but
Well, then Beau's gonna open up a mind link with everyone.
can he with Viola?
Yeah, as long as we could see each other.
Oh, okay.
Can
Yeah,
he?
it
Does
says-
it require a what is it? A somatic?
Let's choose a
Component?
number of.
Thematic component.
No, it's not a spell. The chosen
okay.
creatures you can speak telepathically and speak as long as you're within 1 mile. Wait a minute. And establish telepathy between yourself and others, perfect for quiet infiltration. As an action, you can choose one or more creatures you can see up to a number. So as long as you could see them, then he can create it. As long as they're willing. Which, unless she's like, now. But I think
Now.
he's done it enough times that she would be willing.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine with it. She'd actually
So-
welcome it now because she's so far away from you.
We have it for
guys.
6 hours.
Hey!
Nice.
So once it's done, Viola, question for
Yes?
you. Do you want something to
Uh-huh.
do while you wait?
If you want me to do something while I wait, depends on what it is, but I maybe will do that thing for you.
Find the guy that was taking the signatures and pick his pocket.
For what? I'm not stealing from him.
For the paper that I messed up.
Why?
Think it would be fun for you. I forgot she doesn't know his name is Trish. Think of it as a practice for hunting.
Stealing? I'm not hunting the guy.
I'm not saying kill him. You're
Humans
hunting the
are now.
paper.
I don't really want to
You
try
wanted
and
to learn
steal
how to
from
hunt.
him.
This is my training.
Okay, I'll try to figure something out, but I'm not like picking his pockets. We'll see what happens. Can you tell Snow and Ste'yn that I didn't write my real name so that I couldn't write my real name so I couldn't participate.
Oh,
but
I
I'm
assumed he
cheering as
told
I'm going
them.
from the stands. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I assumed he told them while they were waiting.
Okay, Viola's gonna try to go look for that guy.
He's easy enough to find. He's one of the volunteers. They're over by the tables still. Just, they're just waiting at this point. They have food themselves, having some breakfast while the contest is going on. And it's very slow at this point. The only reason that there's any kind of interest for the viewers, other than the excitement of their friends up there, is that there is music playing throughout the street. Or this clearing. There are people who are waiting, who are dancing along. Just the merriment is going. People are out there already with morning drinks. They are full prepared to have a very intoxicated week. So he's easy enough to find up front at the tables.
She's not gonna walk right over to him. Actually, real quick, she's gonna look around and see if she can see any of her friends besides these three. Specifically if perchance Arno might be around somewhere.
Give me a perception with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Can Clive help her? I'm sorry, Claude. Why do I keep thinking his name is Clive?
I don't know why you keep thinking his name is Clive. But you don't know what she's doing, and so he wouldn't know to go help.
I guess that's true.
Investigation. Not that it's gonna matter
Perception.
that much. Perception. Well, that matters significantly more. 11.
Okay.
Significant.
It's better than a 10 or less than a.
I think it was a
Anyway.
6.
Well, it was a +2 versus a +5, so.
+5. Holy cow. Yeah, you look around, you see well, you don't see anyone from your bunk participating in this one. You don't see Arno.
I don't see anybody in the crowd from.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
she
like
was
a
looking at
novice that I would
participants.
recognize.
No, not for this one. It looks like your bunkmates are not the early birds that you guys are, and well, Arno might be, but he's not here.
Okay. She real quick is just gonna yell out, "Hey Arno, if you're around here somewhere, I could use some help." Just in case. He's hiding out somewhere. She'll wait a couple seconds. If you're sneaking around in the vicinity.
If you're in the area, say something. You call out over the music and the jovial laughter and dancing, but no one approaches you. Actually, someone does approach you. Makes his way through the crowd. You see this elderly man with a cane coming up towards you. He's hunched over, has a very big nose, couple of little warts and some skin tags on his neck, entirely bald with some age spots, comes toddling up to you. It's like an angel had called my name. Well, hello. Were you looking for me?
Is your name Arno?
Well, yes. I don't know how you knew. It's your name.
It's Viola.
A pleasure to meet you.
I think. 1 second. Hey, Beau, is there a chance that Arno could look like a really old man?
Definitely.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you see, one of my friends that's participating in the activity happening wanted me to get a paper for him. She's gonna explain the situation and ask if he wants to help her.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. It's a 15.
Okay. He looks eager to help you. Oh, anything I
Wonderful.
can do to help a sweet young girl. What do you need from me? Are we going to cheat a little and make sure your friends or your family win this thing? It's a lot of money.
No cheating. My friend just asked me to grab that paper. I don't know why. I don't think it's cheating. But one second. Viola's gonna look over at the area with where that guy was sitting and see if she can see where the paper is.
If you just looking, the tables are clear, but you were seeing them store things beneath the table, and there are some baskets around that seem to be holding, at least, yeah, there's 2 or 3 baskets that are holding stacks of paper, but they all look like they're clean papers with people's names on them.
Beau, would you happen to know where this paper's at?
His back pocket.
You saw him put it in his back pocket?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the deal, Arno. The paper that we need is in this guy's back pocket. I'm not the stealthiest person in the world, considering all of the plate armor that I'm wearing. So if I get this guy to come over and talk to me, Beau, do you happen to know which back pocket?
I mean, I feel like it should stand out a little.
Beau, you don't know who I'm working with here to help me. My confidence is not high.
Well, then why are you working with him?
Because I can't do this by myself.
You consider just maybe tapping him on the head and then grabbing him.
That's not my style. I don't want to get in trouble. I want to get away with this. We'll work it out. Don't worry about it, Beau. So she'll tell her, no, it's in his back pocket. I don't know which one. But if I were to bring him over here and distract him, do you think you'd be able to grab the paper out of his back pocket? Or would you rather reverse the role?
I'm sorry.
Or no?
You were asking me. I thought you
Yeah.
were still talking to Beau. What was the question?
If I bring the guy over here and distract him and talk to him, can you grab the paper out of his back pocket?
Oh, that sounds exciting. I'll certainly do my best.
Okay. We got this,
I love
Arno.
helping
I
the
believe
young
in
people.
us. Um. She doesn't know what the guy's name is, does she?
He's just a volunteer. I don't know. Maybe he had a name badge, his own little name badge. It said Joseph. Sorry, is his name. S-A-R-Y. Joseph Sorry is his name.
Okay. So Viola is gonna I'm gonna move over here a little bit and I'm gonna call him over. And then once you think he's distracted, come and try and grab the paper out of his pocket, okay?
Of course. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna look like I'm one with the crowd. And he starts humming along to the music and kind of bouncing with his cane.
You do that, Arno. She's gonna step away and collect herself for a minute.
While you're sitting there and collecting yourself and getting ready to approach this man, over at the tower, where the gong has gone off and the hands have touched the tower itself, up close, it looks like it is an enormous metal construct. And it's, when you touch it, it's relatively cold to the touch. Just, the heat of the day hasn't gotten to it, a bunch of hands and body heat. It's just a little cold to the touch. But it's very smooth and it reaches just towering into the sky. It doesn't seem like much at all, as your hand is just touching it. It seems very uneventful. You do see a couple people around you who they've whispered something small, or they've made some kind of gesture with their free hand as they are touching the tower. And they also all seem in very high spirits.
I was gonna say, Beau uses prestidigitation to warm the area that his hand's touching, because you can warm 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour.
Perfect. Yeah, it becomes a kind of more comfortable body heat temperature, and you're feeling good. You've just begun, you're just minutes in. Not sure how long you might be standing here, but feels perfectly fine if you just have to stand here and lean against a tower. No worries. I wasn't expecting you guys to do something in the first hour of this situation. Viola, you were trying to get this guy over here?
Yeah, she was just gonna call his name and try and wave him over.
Okay. Yeah. He immediately goes over. Yeah, how can I help you?
So I was just wondering about that paper because I thought it was really interesting, and I was wondering if you could tell me some of the magic behind it because I honestly don't really know much of anything about magic.
I don't know exactly what spells were used on it, but it's just a failsafe because, one, with the nature of the tower itself and the ones who have sponsored this event, they're just trying to make sure that anyone who's participating isn't cheating. So we just need everyone to be very truthful as far as that. But like I said, we're not showing it to anybody. It's just to make sure the spell is in the paper itself, just to make sure that no one's lying about their identity. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Why would that be cheating, though? Why would that be cheating, though?
Not cheating as far as giving you an edge, but not telling us who you really are. They're looking for honesty.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to make sure that it also helps us track who's participating. So once your name is on the paper, your badge is activated. And that way we know that you are still in the contest.
So if someone were to take their hand off, then their badge wouldn't be activated anymore?
Yeah. They take their hand off. It'll give us the warning that that participant is out of the contest.
So how does it give you that warning?
I think I never actually saw it in action, but I guess it's just gonna, I don't know, maybe it'll also turn red or cross out or something. I don't know exactly.
Oh, so it's like on the paper that they've already signed?
Right. So wherever your name is either crossed out or something.
Do you really need the papers, though, if it gets down to like the last 5 people?
Well, yeah, we have to keep it all on the paper. The paper's the entry.
So if you get down to the last person and their name's not on the paper, they can't win?
Yeah, but they also can't really be on the tower either because their name would have shown up red if they wrote it wrong.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's true. See, you're so much smarter than me. Like,
No.
What do you do? Like, why did you decide to help out with this event? She's trying to like look at
Yeah.
see what he's doing if he's gonna. And in her brain,
Coddling.
if she's gonna try to look over the guy's shoulder and like make eye contact with Arno and like try to nod her
Well,
head
she had her
some.
horn now. She's like, hold on 1 second.
Viola calls for aid. Give me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Oh no, my die.
Do I have to do it with disadvantage if I'm not really moving that much?
Your armor moves with you.
That is a 9.
Okay. You're like trying to nod along and kind of look over his shoulder and see what Arno is up to. And Joseph kind of wonders if there's someone and he turns and the old man is there and he looked like he was moving and then he like stops just very obviously, like really poorly pretending like he wasn't up to anything. But you do get the sense that Joseph is looking at him like he's just a kind of crazy old man, and he just kind of nods to him and looks back at you, kind of mouths, "Is he giving you any problems?"
Oh, well, I was talking to him a little bit earlier and he seemed a little bit off. Maybe we should go talk to him.
I'll make sure he knows where he's going. And Joseph turns around to talk to Arno, kind of telling him, hey, are you all right?
Whenever
did you
he turns around, before he goes to like move or do anything, Viola's gonna like trip and fall and knock him over and then try to get it out of his pocket when she's like pretending to get up. She doesn't have that many tricks up her sleeve.
No, you're doing great, Sweaty.
Sleeves. She just has armor.
You're doing great.
Viola just
Give-
flattens this little guy.
Give me a. Yeah. Give me a dexterity check.
Just a
How-
straight dex check.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure what else this would be.
That's a 21.
Okay. Yeah, you tactfully collapse in your great big plate armor on this poor volunteer. He's not a scrawny guy, but also he's not in plate armor, and you fall on him as you reach for the paper. Oh, I guess sleight of hand could have done it. Whatever. It's still a success. As you're reaching for the paper and you grab hold of it from his pocket, you now have a soiled parchment page in your hand.
She's gonna shove it in her armor where he can't see it, and she's apologizing profusely. So I'm so sorry. This big armor can just really get the best of me sometimes. I'm such a klutz. I mean, it's probably a good thing that I didn't join the competition. And then she's gonna, like, while he's distracted, kind of look at Arno and try to, like, wave him away.
He's well and truly trying to help this poor young man out and help him up with his cane, kind of prodding at him a bit like, come on, Sonny, roll over, get on your knees, come on, you can do it, because he can't very well help him up with his own strength. So you start to help him up, and he's now making sure that the young man is okay. But you have the parchment.
Viola's just gonna look over her shoulder and say, huh? Oh, I'm coming. And then she's just gonna start going away.
Off you go. Over at the tower.
Oh, Viola would reiterate to Beau that he can't win if his name's not on the paper.
He's not concerned.
Okay. I figured not, but...
Nonplussed. Okay. Over at the tower, by the half-hour mark, it's starting to feel boring. This is clearly just a test of endurance. How long can you withstand staying there? For some, it's probably a bit of a mental game as well. How long can you withstand staying there? Not because you're tired, but because you might be bored. You can hear the festivities happening beyond the wall or further in the Inquirer's ward. People are coming in and out of some of the buildings, looking jovial and excited, moving about. And then you start to feel, as the sun is coming up, you're expecting this tower to get a little bit warmer at least, at least where your hand is. But except for Beau, who had changed the temperature on his own, it doesn't appear to be changing to, kind of warm up with the day or with your hands. It appears to be getting a little bit colder. I need everyone to please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Does Beau get advantage because it's not cold?
No.
Is this because of that?
No.
Okay.
Well.
I was just
30,
wondering because he's
20.
also having 0 effort on putting his hand there.
30-20.
I got a 19.
15.
I was 19. Stan is 15. Okay. You feel a notable cold come across the tower. And it's a little shocking at first, but you don't move your hand away. You just endure. It feels as if you had put your hand in like an ice bath or something. The music continues. Your hands remain.
Did anybody
As
let
you-
go from that?
That you can see, no.
What can... Okay.
Can
Not
Viola
from where you are. You're on one side of this gigantic tower.
Did Viola see anybody?
Give me a perception check.
I was going to say, Beau's just going to have Claude, because I'm remembering the name now, do a perimeter check, see if anyone let go.
Now you can't, unless you call him Clive.
That's not how that works.
That is a 24.
Okay. Claude can go swoop about. Both Viola and Claude can see that a couple of people, like 2 or 3 people, did remove their hands from the tower. You're not entirely sure if it's because of the sudden shock of cold it made them pull away, or if they were like, nah, I'd rather do something else, and they're going to give up the money and leave. But, like, 3 people have left. The time keeps going. Viola, are you doing anything with that piece of paper, or you're just holding on to it? Did Beau ask you to do anything with it?
Well, she would tell Beau that she got it and ask him.
Maybe just tell her to hold on to it for now.
Why did you want me to get it in the first place?
I told you it was training for hunting.
No, why did you actually want me to get it for you, Beau?
That's why.
Well, maybe I'll lose it then.
That's fine.
Maybe I'll give it back to him.
Well, good luck explaining that to him.
Maybe I found it on the ground, Beau.
And how'd you know it was his?
Because I saw him drop it.
Tit for tat. Give me another Constitution
Well,
saving throw. Those who are
I'm
participating.
not going to help you anymore if you don't tell me things. True things, not
Wait,
fake things.
so is this still frost that he's feeling?
You are still feeling cold, yes.
Okay, now, question, mechanically speaking, if I cast Absorb Elements, would
You're
that
not taking
give
damage.
me... I mean, but still an element. I'm saying, could that give me advantage on this?
What does it say?
Well, I guess it does say if you take damage.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it actually said that or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not giving you it's not giving you kind of helping hand. And you can probably guess it's not because you're not actually facing like frost or ice or something. It's just the magic of the tower that's giving you the sensation of such.
Okay.
How did we do?
30-20.
Okay.
No, this whole time, he's taken a book out of his bag, and he's reading a story aloud to those around him.
I love that!
And in the midst of that,
With one
because
hand.
it only requires him to be speaking words, and that is what Snow does, is speak words, he is going to use silvery barbs to give someone else disadvantage and himself advantage.
Okay. Go ahead.
He got a 14 with his advantage.
Excellent. And Beau?
So he did get a 9. But
A
he
9?
does have his hand being held in place, and he is warming the surface. So, I mean, it's your calling, but I do feel like he should have something in his favor based on the fact that he's being held pressed on a changing temperature surface.
If the unseen servant is forcing your hand to it, it's not allowing you to let go.
Well, I mean, after the first one, he would be like, yo, actually, keep it there a bit better. Because you command it to do actions.
It's not stronger than you are.
I mean, he's not very strong.
Not very
Do
strong.
you know the strength of an unseen servant?
It doesn't have a
It's
strength
2.
listed.
It does.
Oh, it does? Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
It has a
two.
strength listed, and
Yeah,
it's 2.
I do see it. It's 2.
Oh dear.
Unseen servants can't do that. They can't grapple.
Why didn't I say grapple?
Well, right, but with the 9, it's not so much the it's not the pain of it. It's not the, it's whatever it is, whether it's the sudden change, whether it's something about the tower that is able to push your hand away, and your hand does come up off of the tower.
But his name's not crossed off of anything, is it?
Viola.
Soiled paper in Viola's pocket.
Viola, you feel like a sensation wherever you have the that paper.
Mhm.
It almost like it's vibrating.
She'll take it out and look at it.
And on this dirty piece of paper, beneath the gunk, whatever is on that page, you do see something gently glowing for a moment, and then it stops.
Beau, your paper just glowed.
All right. Well, don't turn it in. It just means I may have let go of the tower.
Already?
But they don't know that.
It's only the first hour, second hour.
Okay, Beau. Oh, goodness.
The time continues.
Does this seem to be happening on a very regular interval? Like, could you predict when the next check or next thing might be coming, or are you just testing for a period of an hour? Like, do we keep our hands up?
You give me an investigation check.
That's a natural one, so she doesn't know.
Oh no. You kind of lose track if you were trying to count. You kind of lose track of time to be like, oh, it changed. Shoot. Okay, let me start counting again. But give me another Constitution saving throw, please. Beau, you
In
just give me
his
your
reading
answer
of the
anyway.
book,
He's just hover-handing now.
in
How
his
far-
reading of the books, I was also giving Ste'yn inspiration, which is
Say it one more
I
time.
think he said he gave Ste'yn inspiration.
Cool.
Excellent.
correct.
Thank you.
That does come in clutch. Inspiration, that brings me up to a 12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can't wait so I can inspire myself.
You can inspire yourself, you said? One day. Okay. Snow, and it's Ste'yn.
Now got a 21.
21. And Ste'yn's was a 14, you said?
12.
12. Still acceptable. As another sudden shock of cold goes through, and it's feeling like it feels like you have your hand just in a freezer box. Just it's getting decidedly uncomfortable. Like you had just placed your hand in there.
Ste'yn's gonna cast protection from energy on herself, which gives her resistance to one type of damage of her choice.
Okay. What type would that be?
Well, since everything's very cold right now, she's going with cold.
Does that work if
So
we're not taking
aren't-
damage?
Yeah, you aren't taking damage.
Let's try and stuff. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
That's fair.
Like,
That's fair.
Ste'yn's
Throw it
not gonna
down.
know that because she's not taking damage, giving herself resistance to something.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. No, totally
Just trying
legit.
stuff.
Totally legit.
Did
The
she
day.
say her alone figuring out how often it
We don't know
happens?
what you're saying.
Sorry, it's breaking
No,
up
she
pretty
didn't
bad.
say out loud that she couldn't keep track of how often things are happening.
Oh.
He's probably just hopping out,
Yeah,
hopping back
given
in.
the reset.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't see it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now
Yes.
There we
you're
go.
moved.
He's like, wait. Okay.
How many people are still left?
It looks like from this first. So, for you guys to know, it's been every hour that there's been like a change in the intensity.
Starting
of
at the 30-minute
sensation.
marker, so it's been every.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I wanted to get you guys rolling dice. I didn't think that actually took an hour of conversation. So yeah, it's like every hour from that point, you felt the change in the temperature or in the sensation from the tower.
But how many are left?
So it looks
I
like
will say
after...
Viola is watching, and anytime she saw someone leave, she would tell them too.
Cool. Yeah,
Or
it looks
top
like after the first like 3 hours that have gone by, it's probably down. You've watched about 20 of the, what did I say, 75?
I don't know the total that we started with. I missed
You
that
said
part.
50 to 75. I think you landed on 75.
Yeah, that sounds like a good solid number for a city like this.
Alright, so it's still about 50.
Mm-hmm.
So Beau is going to do some damage control. And he's just gonna, because, I mean, he already knows that there's a good chance that they won't give him the money anyway because of what Viola told him. So he's gonna start walking away, but then he's gonna pick a point within 60 feet of him, and he's gonna cast Sleep on a section. That goes, it's a 20-foot radius from the point that he selects.
Okay. Is there a visual element to sleep that?
No, I mean there's a vocal, somatic, and the material, but the material would be covered with his one thing, his thing. So I mean, he'll do sleight of hand if he
His
needs to
thing?
cover up those other things. But I mean, he's
Sure,
already
yeah.
disqualified. So
Yeah, go for it.
all right. So all he has to do is roll dice, and then based off of that, it puts people to sleep based off of how much health they have. So you're gonna have to make an estimation how much health these NPCs have.
I got you.
All right. Because I roll 5d8.
Put him to sleep. 5d8. Let's go.
So now he's just trying to get them an advantage.
The action begins when you break the rules.
I mean, they were already giving people disadvantage, so I think it started pretty early. So that is 6, 12, 19, 23, 31.
Okay. Do something here real quick. You said 31?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
You watch as this line of people, are you doing this around where you were, so like Ste'yn and Snow can
So
see?
he would probably do it some distance, so that way it's not like immediately noticeable that as he's walking away that the people around him are just falling asleep because he has 60 foot of range for it. So he'll do it at a decent distance. So then he'll just let them know in the mind link what happened.
Yeah, you accept and you walk away from the pole. You're like, my bad, and whatever. You walk off and you rolled the stealth?
Oh, I did not. That is a dirty 20, or it could be higher.
You don't have to mark the die. You start walking away. and you cast the spell a few feet further off from where you previously were. Starting from there, moving the other direction away, you watch as this little crowd of 7 people whose hands were up against the pole just suddenly yawn and then just collapse to the ground, sound asleep, looking very cozy.
They sleep
Much
for a minute
cozier
unless
than when they're-
interrupted.
Nobody talks to them. They just kind of watch them fall, and they're just like, "Them's the breaks," and they keep their hands up. So it's 7 more people down. Plus 7 more. Snow and Ste'yn, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
So Snow
As
at this
another hour
point
goes
would have tried using prestidigitation when it been there about it, and seeing that didn't help. He's going to assume that it's something psychic, not actually physical, and so he is going to cast Self.
Gonna cast
Cast what?
what?
Because it doesn't say
What?
Phantasmal Force.
Phantasmal Force. Okay. And what are you doing with Phantasmal Force? And on whom?
On himself.
On himself. Okay. And what is this? Walk me through it.
Since it seems to be some sort of magical psychic thing that is affecting people, since it's not a physical thing, he is going to craft an illusion in his own mind that he is just sitting in a small patch of wildflowers, perfectly safe, and nothing bad at all is happening, and he has no reason to move.
Okay. It looks like the spell lasts for a minute.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So is this a blissful minute of peace? Oh, are you trying to time it in such a way, or you're just taking this minute
Right.
of peace?
Did he
Okay.
catch on
Since
to the
it's
fact
been
that's in
every hour.
increments of hour? Well, she told us, the players, that. She didn't say that, because Ste'yn didn't figure it out, because she got a
Mhm.
1 when she was investigating it.
Well, he could have figured it out because he knows how to cast Identify, and at this point, he's identified literally everything in his bag of holding, including all of the non-magical items.
I would allow him an investigation check as well. I don't know if Ste'yn mentioned that she was going for it too, or whatever the case is. I would allow an investigation check.
17.
Okay. Yeah. It seems to be, as of when it started, about an hour goes by and the tower changes. So yeah, in that initial, like, as you're kind of prepping for when the change would happen, and you put yourself in this blissful place, and for that minute, yes, it is, the tower has changed, but you're kind of in your own world.
Wait, real quick. If he's identifying things, isn't the tower magical? Couldn't you just identify it and learn its properties?
Good.
Yeah, he would have started with that. I thought asking earlier, but it was already taking so long to get into it. I didn't really want a list of the School of Magic, the tower, and all of that.
I would also like to not give a list of the schools of magic involved with this tower. It's a bunch. It's a tower of power.
But
you
yes,
might
he
say.
does know everything about the tower now.
Sure. Every hour on the hour, the tower releases it's the intensity of the tower, the intensity of whatever magic, of the magic that's around it, just grows. It's just an endurance situation, right? Like, so even if Snow Snow can put himself in that minute of bliss, but when he comes back to reality, unless he casts again, he is still facing the tower. That hasn't changed. It's more intense than it was previously. So you would still have to roll. But he might be able to hold on longer than others if he doesn't feel it at the same time as them. I lost my page. What did Ste'yn roll for this one? This is the end of the first hour, end of the second hour, end of the third hour. This is the end. Oh, I should have said that. That's fine. What did Ste'yn roll?
I think you muted yourself.
22.
22. Okay. And you can see Snow is looking very chill as everyone else around you kind of like groans a little bit as it gets more intense. But this time, you're not feeling cold. It seems to rapidly shift to this tremendous heat. But you know it's just magic. I'm sure Snow's mentioned. It's just magic. It's magical energy that's giving you the idea of this feeling, of this power. But it is very hot now and only getting hotter. Snow, you roll a minute, or you face it a minute after the others do. And you've seen a few more people stepping away. Another 5 people are gone. Sometimes it's just an endurance game. How did you do?
Like you said, 16?
16?
I think.
15.
Oh.
Excellent. When you come back from that blissful place and your hand is now on a suddenly very hot tower, it is intense. You almost let go. But you are able to keep holding on. The people around you, there's before the group that suddenly fell asleep, but they've since woken up and have left the area. But the people around you look over towards you and are kind of like, you don't happen to have another story, do you? It was actually nice to have the distraction. This thing hurts. As they ask for your assistance on the tower.
But it's gonna find a new cluster of people to put to sleep.
Sure, go for it.
Alright. So
Give me another stealth check when you're ready.
Yep. Let me see what the number is. That is a 3, 9, 13, 20. That's 25 HP with a stealth check of 27 or higher. Or it can go higher.
No, I think 27's fine.
Okay.
I think 27's fine. And it was 25 HP?
Yeah.
As you watch, make sure I'm doing my math right. 6 more people drift to sleep and let go of the tower.
How many are left?
Plus 6. Math. Oh, gosh. I changed how I was doing it. I was starting with writing how many people each round, and then I started writing it as total. Brenna, no. Brenna, no. So we're at 27.
They're like 10.
Is now... Hold on. Kitty! I love cats so much. Minus... It looks like there's there's a little under 40 people left.
Okay.
Whoop.
What time is it now?
So after So it's 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. You are in the 5th hour of this. You guys are endured. So it'd probably be around 11 a.m.
During their next hour, Beau's going to take a short rest to recover a spell slot.
Love that for him. And we'll get another fiery Constitution saving throw from our friends participating.
Yeah.
Snow is still continuing to use silvery barbs, and he is obliging by telling stories, but in the midst of that, he is also using silvery barbs on people around him, not Ste'yn, but the other people around him,
They trusted you!
and giving himself advantage.
Go for it.
Their mistake.
And now that Beau's got another spell slot, he is going to cast Sleep on another group of people.
I love this for you guys.
Like I'm getting diminishing returns. Oh, actually, this might be good. 11.
18.
That's
18?
19.
19. Very good.
That's 25
Mouse, what are you doing?
for that
Uh-oh.
sleep.
25?
Yep.
Okay. So that's you feel the heat intensify. Kind of wince a little bit, but you are able to hold on. As you watch another group of 16 people walk away from this tower.
And how many fell asleep?
That was 6 fell asleep.
Oh,
and then
okay.
10
I
more
didn't.
people had left. Yeah,
Okay, that's what
16
threw me
total
off.
walked
I was
away.
like, they fell
Well,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
ground.
10 walked away and 6 fell to the ground asleep.
Okay, cool.
Okay. It looks like you have around 20 people left on this tower. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. That goes here. That was the end of hour 6. And at the end of hour 7, is there anything else you want to do that hour, Beau? Or Viola?
I feel like I want him to have at least one spell slot in case anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, actually, he still has this, or no, never mind. I don't think he does have that. Yeah, never mind. I thought he had the spell scroll of sleep, but I think he just copied one. I don't think he actually had the physical thing to take with him.
Okay. One more time, you feel the, well, you don't know that, but I said it anyway. Whatever. You feel the heat intensify. And I need another Constitution save throw.
18.
Are you silvery barbing?
Yes.
18?
Always.
Excellent. Ooh.
Not talking this nerd.
He's not
entire
stopped.
summer he's been talking.
Oy. 19. So with advantage, how did you do?
Natural 20.
Woo! You feel your silvery barb is working as one of the people listening to your story. The heat comes in and he's like, I can't do it anymore. And he steps away. You hear a few cries from some people around you, and just going around the sides of the tower. Where was I? I didn't mark it over here. As another 10 people you watch step away, and they're just like, they're getting frustrated for how long they were lasting and just couldn't cut it.
How many are left now?
It looks like around 10 people are left.
All right, how close are they together?
It doesn't look. There's a couple of scatterings of people, but the biggest group you kind of see within that 20-foot range or whatever, that 20-foot
60.
cone.
So he has a
60-foot
60. So no, he has a 60 range, and then it's a 20-foot radius effect from the point that he
Okay.
picks.
Okay. The biggest cluster that you can see probably would be there's 4 people, because otherwise they're pretty scattered around this very large pole.
All right, who uses
Like a
last spell
small
slot
building.
to try to thin the herd a final time?
Give me another stealth check if you're doing that. Trying to be unseen.
All right. Oh, so I did roll for the last one.
Okay.
It was a 15, but it could also be higher if
15's good.
Okay, cool. And then let me go ahead for this.
Does that mean Viola noticed because her passive perception is 15?
Yes.
I mean, Viola's already helped in stealing and all
Viola's
this other
scheming.
stuff. Is she gonna now rat us out?
It doesn't mean she's gonna rat you out. It just means she's in on it.
Oh, okay.
She just wants to know.
That's
She wants to
fine.
help with the grift.
And then she wants to berate him a little bit for it. But she'll
So that
still allow it.
that is 19 for that sleep spell. And then-
Okay. You watch that whole group of 4 drift to sleep.
And that was either a 12 or 17 for the stealth.
17. Mark your die.
Alright.
Okay. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you got those 4. Oh, right. I said there was. Why did I put that here? Oh, because that was the wrong one from last time. I'm like, how did I get back up to around 20? Nope. It's over here.
Then there's only 4 other people besides them.
Okay. And as the time goes forward, and you guys are starting to feel pretty confident from where you two, Ste'yn and Snow, are standing, you don't see anyone in as the tower is going around. You don't see anyone standing in your eyesight. Beau, you can see as you're going about and just looking, you see where those 4 people are kind of scattered around this very large hole. And you can see them also kind of tense up as the hour mark hits. Constitution saving throw. How many more silvery barbs do you have? You tell me when you don't use it, and I'm just going to roll as if you are.
I mean, he has quite a bit of
I
spell
could cast
slots.
it up to 5 more times.
Golly!
But if Ste'yn is the only person that's still left
In sight.
around,
Yeah.
then he will not.
Okay.
He's a gentleman.
Yay!
Not for anyone else, though, apparently.
He'll sleep in the graveyard for you. He will ruin people's chances at a lot of gold for you. What a good guy.
He also helped her win that drinking contest.
Helped you win a drinking
Mhm.
contest. What a great guy.
It's a dirty 20.
Excellent. And Snow?
11.
No.
The sensation changes again with this feeling, with this hour mark. You're 20 and his 11. Ste'yn, you start to feel a strangely familiar, actually, sensation. It feels sharp, as if something very sharp is pressing into your palm, like a giant thorn.
No, this is normal.
She's like, oh, this is my day. But Snow, you feel it, and while you were very accustomed to the elemental feels, the sudden sharp pain or the sharp sensation has you draw your hand back, and as your hand is removed, or as you remove your hand from the tower.
Stay and don't mess it up. And you'll give her another inspiration.
When Snow does get back, does Snow come over to Beau and Viola afterwards?
Was I counting you guys? I was not.
I have a question. One of you turned me invisible, and I kind of helped keep her hand in place.
Okay.
You see Viola like plug her ears, and she's just like, "I'm not listening. I'm not listening."
All right, so what
Beau
he
is
does,
now invisible.
and Beau's gonna run over. He's gonna tell Ste'yn in the mind, like, I'm coming over to help you.
Oh yeah, that's still going. It's only how many hours do you have for that?
Oh, it was 6 hours. How many hours has passed?
Oh, one,
Oh.
2,
It's
3.
been like
4,
7 or
5,
8, so you'd
6.
have to redo it.
This was the end of the 7th hour.
Oh, okay. Well, didn't realize that. So he's just gonna run over and when he's close by, he's gonna whisper it. Ste'yn, don't panic.
Ste'yn like snippets for a
Turn
second.
off the lawfulness. Turn it off. Gonna let him?
Actually,
You will.
wait a minute. When was the last time it zapped you?
She'll give him an estimate of the time because Catherine's not sure exactly how much time is
Sure.
passing as this
Say
is going.
nearly an hour ago.
Oh, it's been
Cool.
nearly an hour?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I was gonna just have him go and do some damage control if there was more time. But okay, her holding, he'll press her hand up against there to give her help.
Uh-huh.
With all his strength.
He's doing the help action.
It's more
okay?
than an unseen servant, we've learned.
He's at least 6 points stronger than his servant. Chimes is doing his best.
We believe in you, Chives. Can we make team shirts or like team Chive?
It's just blank.
So they're rolling with advantage.
So you're just keeping her hand up against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage. As you feel another as you feel the intensity, as if the whatever sharp thing is pressing deeper.
21.
21.
Yes.
It is uncomfortable. You had turned Beau invisible to do this,
Uh-huh.
and then he went over and was like, boop.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. Let's see. Okay. You hold your hand up though, and despite the pain, like the discomfort, I don't want to say pain, it's not damage you're taking, but it is super uncomfortable. You'd probably like to be doing something else, but man, you are close. You can feel it. Beau's told you that there's only, 2 other people that you saw, and then you. So you're right there holding on. Sorry, you said that was a 21. And for the sake of time, give me another Constitution saving.
Oh, wait. Did she pass that one? Because
She did. 21
Okay.
she passed.
Beau can't go over and do something to those other two.
Tickle their armpits.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if there's something, do it now if there's something you want to do.
I mean, it's fine if we just want to get over. I just didn't know.
I mean, it would help it move along if you were successful.
Okay, if it's if it would help, then he'll go.
Invisibility only lasts an hour.
Oh yeah, that's right. So then it would be after the zap, before the
Uh-huh.
next wave. He's gonna go over. What is person 1 look like? What is the build?
There's a kind of bulky looking humanoid female whose hand is pressed up. She
Why
looks
female?
bored more than anything, but she's kind of leaning her head on the tower and on her hand as if kind of concentrating. The other one is this the other one is a dwarf who's also got his hand up. He's just kind of tapping his foot along to the music and just enduring.
So the dwarf,
Mhm.
he's just standing there tapping along. Now, in regards to belts or suspenders, what's his deal?
He's wearing some trousers.
Oh, he's got nothing? Oh, he
Trousers
doesn't
and
have
a
anything?
tunic. A colorful tunic, as if his face doesn't give you the impression of being in the spirit. It's like kind of wrinkly with just, lots of frowning. And but his shirt is very loud and very harvest seasonal.
So to try to get him to panic and maybe let go, Beau would like to pants him.
Okay. Yeah. While invisible, you're gonna pants him.
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. Give me a dexterity sleight of hand.
With advantage, because he's invisible?
Yes. Don't mess up.
Ooh, that was close. One was... Oh, wait. No, I guess that...
Don't
so
say that.
was a...
Nat 20.
It's not that.
I so hope so.
So it's either a
Dirty
16
20?
or a 21.
Mark off your die.
Alrighty.
As you scoot over, deft feet to not leave any traces at all, find your target, grab at the belt line, and you just yank it down. And he's just got his little bloomer-esque things, which are also, I will add, very loud and colorful and seasonal. On very hairy, like dark hair, very hairy, muscular legs. And now his boots are covered as he's been pantsed, and it's just his tunic that's
Did
like,
he
just
react
reaching
and
below.
move his hand to grab his drawers?
He just doesn't notice.
I want shock of movement.
Shock has him reach down to grab at his pants, to yank them back up, looking absolutely furious. But in order to do so, he did release the pole.
All right, now for the girl. I need to figure out. That's why I was just like, you had to make her a girl, but I don't want to pants a girl. So
Thank you,
for-
Viola yells, "Wear a belt next time!"
So for the girl, you said she's leaning. She's
Growls
over there
in
like
your direction, Viola.
the girl's over there leaning, all uncomfortable. Like.
Yeah, kind of leaning.
All right.
As if concentrating.
So first, he's gonna soil the surface she's leaning on.
Okay.
And then he's going to create a foul stench.
Okay.
She's still just chilling.
Oh yeah, she's just chilling.
You should grease the pole right there.
I can't grease the pole.
Just
I'm spell
slap.
slots.
I'm out of spell slots.
All right.
In fact, you do see her nose twitch a little bit, and then you see a little bit of a smile on her face, as
Now-
if she's thinking of home.
Ugh.
Now here's a scaling question. On a scale of her to Beau, who is
Bigger than you, will crush your head.
by how much bigger?
She stands at about 5'11". Her muscles are clearly worked on, and she's wearing a shirtless, or not a shirtless, I'm sorry, a sleeveless top. Her pants do appear to be secure, but she's wearing a sleeveless top with these cute little frills, the fringe on the shoulders, in seasonal affair.
Okay, in seasonal affair.
When you
great.
cast Prestidigitation, invisibility dropped. Because
Wait, but he's
that
not
happens
concentrating
when
on
you
the
do
spell.
that.
What?
It
What?
doesn't
your-
matter. For
Wait.
invisibility, if you
Yeah,
attack
no, I remember that.
Spell,
No, I remember
ability
that.
drops.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, but she's still
It's
sleeping
not-
over there, right? She
it's
is.
not
Yeah, her eyes
greater.
are closed. Her eyes are closed. She's just chilling. dreaming of home and apparently the terrible smells there.
Okay. Beau's going to sneak off, I guess.
From the middle of
I've
the arena.
done my job. Ste'yn and Snow, you guys aren't casting anything. You're just
It's
You're
just
holding
staying, but
for
yeah.
yeah. Well, I didn't know if
Just
Snow was
Ste'yn.
doing anything as well. Okay.
No, could put himself in
Excellent.
position to see her and do silvery barbs on her.
Do I need to roll it? Can I
Yes,
make my
put that-
next con save?
Yes, please do.
Cool.
After Snow sees that Beau is no longer invisible, Snow will cast invisibility on himself and go do the same thing that Beau did with Ste'yn and for advantage.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. That's a total of 26 using inspiration.
26 with the inspiration as she's holding on. You feel the intensity as if that whatever sharpness could be going straight through your hand. It is an intense feeling, but with Snow holding your hand down, you almost wish you would let go, but you are glad to have his hand there to help you hold on. The other. Oops. Beau, as you were trying to contemplate what to do about this other woman staying up on the pole, as Snow is holding Ste'yn's hand down, you see her eyes kind of pop open, and she's cringing as she's like trying to hold on, and then you see her hand come off of the pole.
Nice.
Ste'yn's good at staying.
Oh, I didn't mark the other one, so that was
With
the
the
dwarf
little-
left, and then the
With a lot of
little
cheating.
friends.
She made most of these rolls on her own.
I was gonna say,
But yeah.
first day we
Yeah,
just
I mean,
got
she
together and
personally
saw
didn't
the
cheat,
whole-
I don't think at all.
Mhm.
You only did stuff on yourself. It's just that all of us,
and
we
you
all
can
cheated.
hear as the day has been going on and on, people have been coming in and out from the crowd of watching, checking in on you guys, and you've been hearing some cheers as you've gotten down to these final few people. And as they watch the woman pull her hand away, you can see a number of people who are just like whooping so loudly. They are so excited. They are cheering, cheering, cheering. When would that have?
Ste'yn is not taking her hand off until she is told to do so by someone official, by the way.
Okay.
And if
have an
Viola
inspiration
sees
point for
that, if Viola sees that Ste'yn's the last one, she's screaming her head off and cheering.
Yeah, Viola, you are screaming. You're like, yes, go Ste'yn, yes. Or as Ste'yn's new catchphrase, right on. Ste'yn, yeah, you keep your hand up as a number of people from the crowd who don't even know you are starting to move in your direction, and they're just cheering and applauding for you as your hand is up there and you're just waiting. You guys are also going up to Ste'yn?
Yeah, if they see other people walking up to her, Viola's gonna walk up to her.
Okay. Yeah.
Ste'yn, you did it! You're the last one!
Excellent. I'm good at staying.
Hence the
And she's
name.
like so
Okay.
tired. I just want to stop.
What time of day is it now?
Like
At
8
this
hours,
point,
I think. Maybe more.
yeah, something about that. You'd think I'd mark it nice and carefully, but as Catherine learned
Oh.
earlier today, organization of things is not my strong point. I tend to ask for help with those kinds of things.
It's a beautiful spreadsheet.
Actually, it might have been
My
9.
fiance was
It
very
is.
impressed.
So I think it was
One-
7
And
hours
1,
when
2,
he
3,
did
4, 5, 6,
the first invisible
7,
thing.
8, 9. That was
Yeah.
the end of the 9th hour. Ste'yn, as you're waiting,
So it was like
no one
2
official
o'clock in the
approaches you.
afternoon.
Is someone gonna come give this girl the money she just won?
And as you say that, Viola, people are whooping and cheering, "Give her the money! Give her the money!" And they're all cheering and screaming. The people at the table are just giving thumbs up. They're giving you a thumbs up, Viola, and but they don't stand.
Are you gonna come tell her that she won or what?
Ste'yn's gonna use thaumaturgy to increase the sound of her voice and just say, "Can I let go now?"
The Joseph stands up and looks in your direction, and he says, "Only if you're ready to give up."
What's the point of her staying? Does she get more money if she stays longer?
Oh, well, no, there's 2 people left.
What? Who's the other person left?
And he just gestures to the pole.
Viola walks around the pole right next to it and is like waving her hands around. If there's someone invisible touching the pole.
Give me a dexterity check.
$14.
Okay. You start going around the pole, and you're just like waving your hands around it, and you do feel yourself, as your arm is going down, you feel your hand brush against something somewhere probably around your like waist height. You feel your hand brush against something, and you hear a little.
Wait, so if they did that, they let go. They let go.
Here.
No, not like that. I mean, like But whatever that is, I mean, not that you would be able to see, but no, they did not.
Viola's gonna feel around on it. If no one's telling her she can't touch this person, she's gonna try to
You
figure
two, they
out.
back off. Back off.
Tickle him. Tickle him.
You know how long it took to get here? I'm
Why
getting
are you
this money
invisible?
because I can. Why'd your buddy put everybody to sleep?
I don't know who anybody.
I thought he
buddies that
passed
put
all of
anybody to
those.
sleep.
I thought I passed all of those. Because he was burning psionic dye when he couldn't. He only burns them if he to pass. So if how?
No, if no one stopped you, no official anybody stopped you. No one who could do anything about it. Your success was not ruining it for everybody. He's not going to tell on you or anything. The name of the game is win. If you're going to do what you're going to do, you do what you do. He's not going to like rat you out.
Well, you are ruining the effect because nobody can watch the event because they can't see you.
I don't know why you're so mad.
Because my best friend's over there trying to win, and she's gonna win.
If she can beat me.
Stay in. There's some weirdo on
Nogo's
this
over
side of
there,
the pole.
also invisible.
Okay. Time ticks on.
And seeing where this is taking place, he's going to take Ste'yn's scarf out of his bag and just start tickling the back of the person with the edges of the scarf.
You can't see what the person is doing as you are trying to find where they are. Give me well, if you're gonna try and find them, give me a perception check at disadvantage because they are also invisible.
Well, Viola had her hands on the person.
Okay, fair. Viola, give me a strength athletics check.
A strength athletics check.
I'm telling you this person's pushing you.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
So this
You can
person's
feel
only
them trying
pushing with
to-
one hand, right?
He's not trying to. Well, he has not removed his hand from the pool. You have your hands on this person, even though you can't see, but you can feel it, and you hear him saying, like, "Let go of me! You are not allowed to touch the participants like this." And he's trying to wiggle out of your grasp. Snow, you can give me a regular perception check.
17.
Yeah, you start using the scarf and attempting to get this guy to let go. The volunteers appear to be distracted by this large crowd who are all cheering for Ste'yn to win and get her money and are starting a small
Ste'yn's
riot.
blowing kisses to the crowd.
Of course they are.
Doesn't like crowds. Ste'yn.
She loves this. But the person this person is clearly very uncomfortable as Ste'yn or as Snow and Viola are messing with him, just trying to hold on and win some money. We'll see. One more Constitution saving throw as the hour mark coming along.
Viola's also just like patting him, kind of like if she couldn't see and she's like trying to figure out what's in front of her.
Sure. You feel the top of the head of someone very small.
We love a nat 20.
A nat 20. Oy, oy, oy. Versus a nat 1 is not gonna end well for this poor guy.
Loser!
You monsters.
What? They were
Stealing money from someone
I
else.
was prepared
So
to start
rude.
pulling out his hair.
That was not us. He lost that all on his own.
You guys
We
about to
just
start a
love our
whole
friend.
affair as your Snow is tickling him and Viola is messing with him, and then you feel this shift. Ste'yn, you feel, instead of this piercing, you feel this crushing pain, or this sensation, as if every bone in your hand is about to snap if you do not let go soon. But enduring through, you hear this yell of absolute anger, like, "What? Why did you do that?" As Snow and Viola can feel and see now, as he drops his invisibility, this halfling step away and shake his hand, also dressed in very loud festival garb.
Sorry, if it's a halfling, doesn't it get a reroll on nat ones?
He didn't make this save.
Okay, cool.
Good call, though. These are not the little mechanics I'm thinking of. That's really funny. But he is now yelling like expletives. He is so angry. But he storms off.
Real quick.
And Ste'yn, you can see the judges or the volunteers stand up now, and now they're applauding along with the rest of the crowd, who have been standing around for an hour trying to tell them to pay you. And he gestures for you to come over and remove your hand from the tower.
Excellent. As Ste'yn removes her hand from the tower, she is fully dramatic and very tired. So she's going to bring up her radiant soul, and she's going to get some big bright wings, and she's glimmery.
Gonna fly over. She's like, I don't even want to walk.
I had enough of my feet touching the ground. Thank you very much. And you release your wings, and everything goes silent. There's a solid 10 seconds of absolute silence. The music stops playing. Everyone seems to be holding their breath as your wings are clear and shining, casting this great glow across the tower, across the people, and you lift up from the ground. Your feet feel a lot better being off of solid ground. And you fly over towards where the volunteers are just staring. And one person breaks the silence with this loud hoot and holler. And it's like, she's an Asimar. She's an Asimar. She's from the legends. Have you heard the story? And the whole crowd just explodes with excitement.
Ste'yn's just taking it all in as she calmly comes to a stop in front of the volunteer tables and gives a little bit of a bow.
Yeah, they applaud you. And you see Joseph fussing around for a page. And he looks at it, he reads it. Congratulations! And his voice is now also booming. He says, congratulations to Ste'yn alive?
That's me?
To Ste'yn alive, everyone! Our winner for this year's Tower of Power! And there's huge uproar again. You are handed this plaque, this metal plaque. Looks like it was beautifully... what's the word I want?
Engraved?
Yes, thank you. Words are so hard. It's engraved. It just says, the year 349 Tower of Power champion is on the placard. And then someone casts something or other, and your name appears on it. It's handed to you along with a small box, not little, but a little chest. It is handed to you, and you can hear coins shifting around inside of it.
Excellent.
I don't know if you want to open it, but you are told, as you're handed it, he says, and your reward, it is 300 gold pieces.
I thought I said 500.
I probably said one thing or another before. I changed my mind.
That's still a good amount.
I wanted the progression to get better.
Ste'yn
And that
accepts
took
the
you the whole
things.
day. Congratulations, and there's just an ongoing applause. People are coming up to shake your hand. Some of the other contestants are congratulating you, asking how you did it. How did you hold on for that? That was crazy. And they're like sharing, their story, what they were doing. A lot of people are coming up to you all at once. Beau, you're as all these people are crowding, and Ste'yn is now in the midst of that crowd, and you are off away from her. You can feel your heart is kind of pounding in your chest, and you have this urgency, like your throat is feeling dry. Everything about you it's like if you don't, you are starving. You are absolutely starving.
Okay. Beau's gonna leave.
Just make your way out.
Well, yeah, he
Viola's
doesn't want
gonna
to.
suggest that we go to the Pike for the drinking contest now. Or I guess it's not at the Pike. At the merchant stage.
It's in that area.
I was gonna ask if we just wanted to go straight to a long rest so we could do the next event.
Well, that's
That's
fine
up to you.
too. Viola does need to find Zader.
Oh yeah. You're supposed to meet him in the morning.
She wasn't in the Pike in the morning.
It's like you don't even want this thing. He's gonna forget you again. Beau, where do you go?
He's just gonna move the opposite direction of where all that is. Maybe keep an eye out for any kind of creature roaming about.
Sure. So you try to get to where there seems to be the fewest number of people. again, it's a pretty bustling city. You probably feel like the least number of people are, more towards like those slummy areas anyway. They have their own little festivities and such going on there. It just doesn't seem nearly the same as kind of where more people are congregated in those wards. As you're just getting away from the crowds and the sounds, you hear the fighting of some like stray cats, kind of fighting for their territory. That's the closest to small creature that, or the soonest that something has come up, and you need something now, or you're gonna go after a person.
Yeah. So what he's gonna do is when he breaks, like when he knows people aren't around, he's going to use his masquerade tattoo to turn back into the figure that he turned into way back yonder, the masked figure. And he's then going to run across and try to grab both cats, I guess, because he said they were fighting each other. And he's just going to continue running with them for a little bit.
Give me a quick I don't know, grabbing the cats. Actually, I have something for this.
For cat grabbing?
Yes, I have a cat grabbing roll. Where's that thing? It's something similar anyway. I keep hearing boops.
It's roll 20.
Uh-huh.
Happens when I cast spells.
What was the roll? Oh gosh, dang it. It's fine. Clearly on a different sheet. That's okay. Yeah, just give me a dexterity. You can add like acrobatics or something if you want.
Okay.
How can you scoop up those cats?
If he's sleight of hand, if he's just...
Sure.
Cool. Oh, so that would be either a 24 or higher.
24 is fine.
All right.
Yeah, you can nab both of these, and they are ratty looking little feral rabid things. And even as you're running, right, even their instincts have them stop fighting each other, and they're both very tense as you're approaching, and animals are not big fans. But they don't have time nearly to move as you burst of speed snatch both of them up.
Hi. So he'll just continue running in case somebody saw that. And then once he feels like he's broken sight, then he will have them.
There is not a better way to phrase it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, no. And as the absolute just hunger and bloodlust takes over, it's pathetic compared to what you've had before. And you just bring your teeth out and sink them in these ratty little creatures. As you take care of that, back up at the Inquirer's ward, Ste'yn, the crowd is slowly dispersing, but you can still spot Snow and Viola.
Make my way
are-
over to them.
At these now.
What was that?
Oh,
I think
Snow
Snow's
is
still
still
invisible.
invisible.
Oh, okay. You know where Viola is anyway. She's like, guys, I'm her manager. You're gonna need to step away from the Azamar. And even as the crowd is dispersing, you can hear them chattering, and you hear more. You hear the name again, Viver. You hear a story about, yeah, I heard that they have an ass. Do you think it's her? And there's no way. But they're so rare. It could be her. No, it cannot possibly be her. But it's very cool that we saw it, and the stories are building.
As Ste'yn walks up, Viola just shakes her head and says, "You just had to get yourself some more attention, didn't you?"
it felt right.
It was
This is what you
I
call
agree with the decision
fun,
wholeheartedly.
yes?
Yes, very much. That is a lot of fun.
Where's Snow, or where's Beau?
They're around. I don't know. I couldn't keep track of them. It was almost as exciting watching them run around and suddenly turn invisible as it was watching you sit there and hold your hand on a tower.
It was probably very boring, and you can say that. That's okay.
I had some adventures of my own. I don't know if Beau told you, but I had to get a paper from some guy. I don't really know why. But I met this old man named Arnaud, and he helped me.
Oh goodness, that sounds like quite a tale. 1 second, Ste'yn's still looking around, concerned that she's not seeing Beau, and she will cast Sending to figure out where Beau is. Because she's supposed to be keeping an eye on him.
Uh-huh. What do you send to him?
Beau, where are you? Are you in trouble? Can we meet at the Wild Pike or the Graveyard soon?
I'm fine.
Reply.
Not
Reply.
too far away. Whichever is closer.
You can't respond back. You're supposed to pick one.
Well, he did. He picked whichever one is closer.
True. True.
Which we all inherently know.
Definitely.
The Inquirer ward is closer to the
Graveyard.
It's closer to
Okay.
Sager's.
Okay.
Stay and we'll look at Viola.
Yes.
Alright. We'll meet with Beau back at the graveyard, and then we can... Snow? If you're around and can hear, we're going to head back to the graveyard to find Beau. And then we'll make for the Wild Pike or something, and maybe... Do you celebrate after things like these? Is that what you do?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. You also are probably a little bit like hungry because you missed lunch. We could maybe pick up some food from a stand on the way.
That could be good.
You are feeling pretty hungry. Which, with your wisdom, I will say, it actually causes you a little bit of concern, again, for Beau, because you know hunger is the problem.
Well, to the graveyard.
I suppose, should we wait for Snow?
Snow, go to the graveyard. I know you're around here somewhere.
Go to. Yep, we're going to the graveyard, and he takes both of their hands so that he's standing between them, and he just starts swinging their hands as we walk forward, because he's been
Viola will
standing right
start
next to them the
skipping.
entire time.
Just watching back and forth like a tennis match.
Yeah.
As you guys begin leaving the Inquirer's ward, Snow, what is your passive perception? Like a 12 or a 13?
It's 13, which is better than what I often roll on.
This is why I'm trying to remember these things. You're just kind of, you're enjoying the holding their hands invisibly until the spell drops, and skipping along between them that they can't see. Viola and Ste'yn, you guys note on your way out, there's only one. The merriment is just lasting. It's like a blanket over the entire Inquirer's ward, through all the streets. There's only one instance that you notice that looks a little out of place. It appears some people seem to be fanning someone who might have just fainted. Maybe they got too excited about all the happenings, but there is someone who appears to have fallen. They have some people. They are with people. They're not alone. People seem to be like fanning them and just checking on them, making sure they're okay. Ste'yn, you can hear a couple of little laughs, but they feel kind of tense, a little awkward, as if they were a little worried.
Ste'yn will stop when she sees that and call over to them. Do you need some assistance?
It's a group of women. They look over at you. Their eyes go wide for a minute. Wow. The Tower of Power champion would come to little us. No, I think we're
Yes,
okay.
do you need help? I'm trained
think
in
we're
healing if
okay.
there's something you need.
Oh, she's just and she's fanning this young lady on the ground who she looks a little pale, which would make sense if, you know, whether she didn't drink enough or she didn't eat enough, whatever the case is. She looks a little pale, actually fairly pale, and they're just fanning her. They say, I think she just got overexcited is all. Just, you know, the festival's just starting so strong. We did so much today, and I forgotten to eat.
Ste'yn will take some rations out of her bag and hand them over. It's not great food, but, you know, it's something for her to nibble on until they can get for something more substantial.
And they thank you for it. Give me a quick perception check.
That is a
Viola
25.
too?
You may, Viola.
Not that she needs to, but that is a 21.
Okay. Both higher than your passives. Viola, as you're joining her and Ste'yn is giving them some rations to give her, you both note that the fainting spell that this young lady seems to have had, she looks exhausted. She looks like it reminds you. Well, Viola, you note she looks exhausted, just absolutely just fatigued. Her like breathing seems to be a little shallow. But again, her friends don't appear to be overly worried as they hold on to the food because she doesn't seem to be conscious to eat it. They
Oh,
need
I
her
thought she
to.
was conscious.
No, she is. She looks like she's asleep, basically. But they're gonna try. Like, they're trying to like wake her up, and her eyes kind of very groggily open a little bit. A moment of recognition, and then they close again. Ste'yn, it reminds you very much of the way you had seen Captain Nora when she was unconscious. The struggling, even as if the muscles just to breathe were struggling. So they seem to just be fanning her off, kind of, again, trying to wake her up again to get her to eat a little something.
We're headed up to Saker's Keep. I don't think it would be a bad idea for you guys to accompany us and head up there to get some help. And better safe than sorry.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Oh my gosh, for a second I thought I rolled 2 nat 1s.
That would be something.
That's an 8. The other one was a 7.
Okay. They thank you and they say, yeah, we'll see if she's gonna, you know, just get a little air and wake up a bit. But there are some scattered healers around too. We could probably just get her to one of the tents and cool her off.
I recommend you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It
We
probably
definitely
be
will.
very good for her. And if she gets any worse, so this doesn't wake soon, I recommend you to take her to Saker's or get someone from there to see to her. They make special teas and mixtures that might help bring some energy back.
Yeah, that does make sense. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And congratulations again. Are those your real wings?
They are. They've probably faded by now, but they are. They're gonna last a minute.
Yeah, they only last for a minute.
No, I'm not saying like. I mean, like, are they like? Were they?
Yeah.
Were those wings you once had?
Yes, they were.
That's.
It's a blessing
incredible.
from my goddess.
Who is your goddess?
Tala.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No way to get a blessing.
That's very interesting. Well, thank you, and yeah, we'll watch out for her.
All right. What are your names?
Sure. Let's go to the list. So the woman you've been speaking to, she introduces herself as Booya. Bua, not Booya. Bua.
Booyah.
Booyah. Bua. Give her a last name. Her last name is Shay.
Booyah, Shay.
Bua Shay. Are these fun lists? Dungeon Masters at home, make sure that you donate to fantasynamegenerators.com. Get us better names. The girl on her other side. The girl on her other side, her name is Zas. Zas Oline.
Like Vaseline?
Sure.
I don't know. In my head, I'm picturing it being pronounced very flamboyant for the both of them, and it's quite the combo.
They're also in very bright, very loud dresses with big poofed shoulders and cinched collar, wrists. Words. And they introduce their friend who is currently still fainted. Her name is Mia. Her name is Mia News.
All right.
Thermopolis.
No.
Ste'yn just nods and encourages them once again to seek some other help as soon as they can. And that if they need anything and they see her around, to let her know.
Excellent.
And then she'll go back to, well, they'll start their walk again to the graveyard.
Okay. You guys make your way over to Saker's Keep. It's definitely getting later now. The trek across the city over to Saker's. When you get there, it's that same sense that there is just a lot of activity. You actually see some Peace Watch are out there as well, including your friend Canyon, who seems to be chatting with one of the greeting acolytes. Just chit-chatting as you guys are approaching. He gives you a little wave. But otherwise, that was all he was going to do unless you had something to say to him. But he just gives you a little wave. Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say, unless anyone else had anything planned for today, I don't have anything planned for Beau if we just wanted to go to the Trial of Fear, or whatever it's called.
Before that, when you get to Saker's and you head inside, you do feel more of that flurry of activity. And I think Ste'yn, with her passive perception, you do overhear some conversation that appears to be about some people who are currently being treated. Exciting festivities. People seem to be forgetting things like water and eating, and man, it's very unfortunate when they faint out and about in the streets. You hear more about some of these fainting spells going on. Yeah. You hear more about these fainting spells, just overhear about them. As you make your way to the graveyard, I'll say you also grabbed some food on your way, so you've at least eaten some dinner before you guys meet. Handle the rest of your evening, head to bed, get nice and rested. Viola, are you staying in the graveyard with them again?
No, Viola is gonna go back to the Wild Pike tonight so that she can try to
Where
meet
she
Zayder
belongs. Wants to be where
Return
the
to
people
my
are.
home.
She longs for her bed.
Can't be that comfortable.
Disney.
Maybe more
At
comfortable
some
than the
point-
ground, but can't be that comfortable.
At some point, Ste'yn's gonna give Snow the plaque and the chest and just ask him to put him in the bag of holding.
Excellent. Viola, you make your way back to the Wild Pike, and to the Novice Hut. As you go through the Pike and you're squeezing your way through, and people let you through as they make it clear that you're one of the novices and you're heading back to the hut. You catch the tail end of the performer for that day, Anya Gem. She's on one of the main stage in the Pike. She finishes. She's a half elf with her hair in these beautiful blonde hair and beautiful ringlets. She's wearing this very not revealing, but a very like contoured gown. It itself is shimmering and sparkling around her. The whole stage seems to be shimmering and sparkling around her, and it slowly fades as her song ends. She steps off the stage to a small group of adoring fans before her next set. As they're lavishing over her and she's giggling, her hand motioning towards a necklace that she's wearing that they seem to be also mentioning and complimenting. A little iron-looking pendant around her neck. And that's when you see her kind of take a deep breath. Seems a little struggled. And you watch her collapse.
Viola runs over to try and help her.
We'll see if you make it over there.
Ugh!
How exciting!
Things are picking up.
Yes, that's all I wanted to hear. Yay! We have a winner! You guys won, what did I say? 300 gold? Congratulations!
Well, Ste'yn won 300 gold.
That's true. I mean, Ste'yn is a bit of a diva. She might just keep it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. She had her squire. It's not Viola's squire. She had her squire hold on to it for her. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, won some money. Got to use some magic. Guess it just couldn't end on a high note, could it? But it ends exciting! So yay. Awesome. We'll be back at this in a couple of weeks, I guess. This has been fun. I'm looking for my tab. That's the correct tab. Wait for it. And I found it. Hooray! Found it! Hey! And for all of you guys at home, hi. Thank you from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. Also, please take a moment if you have not yet done so to like this video and leave a comment. If you need some prompting, we have a few writers in here who understand that sometimes you just need a little prompting to get the creative juices flowing. So you can answer the following question. What is your favorite time of day? Or tell us what your favorite moment from the session was. That also works too. But we do appreciate you journeying with us to bring clean content to the world of tabletop RPGs. And a particularly huge thanks to my players, whose links are in the description below. Please take a moment to follow these tremendous people and their exciting endeavors. David, who plays Beau and knows how to play up a starving vampire like nobody's business. Catherine, who plays Ste'yn and is also the queen of spreadsheets. Kassie, who plays Viola, who's the real diva here, but really it's her cat. And Josh, who plays Snow, who through any kind of interference, we still hear him in our hearts and we love him to death. I'm Brenna. I'm your storyteller for this adventure, and we'll see you back here next time. Safe travels till we meet again.